Spoonie, Timothy. BJ Nix, are you here?
Present.
Present. Spoonie, Timothy Spoonie.
Present, sir.
Margaret and Mary. Do we have a Margaret and Mary?
Yes. Cool. And the margaritas.
All right. Class here. We're ready. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Okay.
This is the time to line up behind your team, to support your team. Have faith in that team.
You know, it's peaks and valleys. You know, it can't always be good. And as I always tell people, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. But when we do know about
house call, Trevon Diggs, pick six. It's coming, they see it, knocked away. Oh, Gregory! Hurts in trouble. 3 Cowboys wrap him up, make it 4. Micah Parsons is unblockable.
what is going on, Cowboys Nation? What is going on, Pick Six fam? It's Freestyle Friday. The Cowboys, back-to-back double-digit win season since when?
I don't remember.
What, 06, 07?
Yeah, it's like 06, 07.
Somewhere around in there? Yeah. So the Freestyle Friday, time to change the beat up a little bit in the background. Time to change the beat up, Spoonie, in the background a little bit. We're down the stretch. And if we're going down the stretch, it's time to ramp this thing up and get the temperament a little bit higher. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday. I hope everybody's being great this week. I hope everybody's had a great week. I hope your Friday has been fantastic. Ultimately, where'd it go? I don't hear it no more. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's back.
I wasn't ready for the dramatic effect.
I was, yeah, it got me. But what's good? TGIF, Cowboys Nation. Hope everybody's doing well. Spoonie, man, how we doing this Friday, bro?
Doing good. You know, anytime, it's a Friday, and we understand there's 2 days.
Are we good?
I'm feeling good. But we 2 days away from hope the Dallas Cowboys clinching the playoff spot. So you know that is something to look forward to. We gotta go in there and take care of some business.
Shut the fuck out, David Jenkins.
We're ready to get to work. We're ready to get to work.
We're ready to get to work. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, Friday. How are we doing? Look, well, and first and foremost, if y'all miss a Wednesday show, y'all don't get y'all ain't catching the drip. This is back-to-back sweaters for back-to-back ugly sweaters.
This is sweater number 2 of the week. This is the Scooter Magruder OG edition.
Yeah.
So I think I may have had it before him, but he's the one that made it.
I wish you would have told me, because I actually had that same one. We could have been twins, but neither here nor there.
Yeah. Next week, Christmas week, we'll knock it out Wednesday.
That part.
So Bruce had the answer. Back-to-back winning 10-win seasons was 95-96. At that point, we actually did 94, 95, 96 in a row. in some years prior.
Oh, no, you're right. It was back-to-back playoffs, right? It was
back-to-back playoffs was 06, 07.
That's
and,
right. That's right.
yeah.
That's what it was.
But we skipped a year in that stretch. We went 06, 07, 08, 09, and we had 2 10-win plus seasons there, but not back-to-back.
Right.
It's Friday, man. I'm feeling good. Great week of work.
Oh, I like that.
Got some holiday stuff in with the kids. Getting some presents wrapped tomorrow. Knocking out an article tonight after the show. Almost Christmas time. And my Cowboys have 10 wins. I'm good. We're good. We're in good shape right now. I feel good. I'm excited for the final stretch of the season and then the playoff run. Because we got 8 more weeks to be excited about the Cowboys.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. You know, but it's the most wonderful time of the year. Christmas, baby. Let's go. Christmas, baby. Hold on. Hey, what's the show being? Oh, I know you. What you got over there? You in the Pale Ale? You in the IPA?
Yeah.
What we got?
This is a local brewery in Athens, Georgia. Go Dogs. Called Creature Comfort is the brewery. This is called Tropicalia. It's a nice IPA. Hits hard, crisp. It's good.
Making it do what it do.
Also
making
have
it do what it do.
A Sam Adams winter lager that I finished right before the show started. So now we're on to the IPA.
Quick shout out.
Both of my future show sponsors.
Yeah.
Creature Comfort.
Man, hey, real quick, man. Shout out to a little love here. Our guy Sam was in the building. What's going on with the AKA Professor O burner account? What's going on, Sam?
First off, can we chat about that? You know how good it feels to have a burner account? Like I have a burner account now. I can say whatever I want, and you don't know if it's coming from me or my burner account. And I have a second mind to help me out. So 2 different ideas at once.
It's just
So shout out to my guy Sam, bro, who is the yin to my yang. So what's up, bro?
Big facts. Shout out to Bruce. Got the toxic juice. What's going on, Bruce? As I'm scrolling through here, David Jenkins once again. What's good? Wrench Gang's in the building. What's going on? TC, what's good, man? Jamie in the building as well. What's good? And look, a lot of things from Wednesday to right now that we get to talk about. There's a lot of things happening in general. My girl Emily, she was over there rocking with his spoon over there in the space. She done bent the corner. What's going on, Emily? And of course, as O dubbed it, the best name ever, Chris P. Middle initial Bacon. What is going on? Oh. And of course, wait, real quick. Programming alert. It's pinned over here on YouTube. It's up there on the top. We have the link. You can join, kick it with us, ask questions, do what you got to do. Camera on or not, whatever the case. Cell phone, iPad, computer, doesn't matter. You can join either way you want to. Do what you got to do. That's weird because I'm on Twitch, but I don't know. Maybe this guy's over there. I don't know. That's me on Twitch, but I don't know that link. But hey, cool. I don't know. I have to figure out what's going on.
That's the StreamYard link. I put it in our chat.
Oh, did you? Oh, that part. Okay. I was like, there's something on the back end. I'm shout out to you. Yeah, fair enough. Other Rich Gang member. What's going on? Yeah. Said no, Georgia. Oh. I mean, I'll let you address that.
We have to chat about that.
Shout out to Tony in the building as well. What's going on, Tony? What's good? All right. Inhale. Exhale for a second. A lot of things have happened over the past 48 hours, guys. And I had to table Spoonie for the 3 letters. No, we're not doing this in the space. We're not. And I know there's probably some people from the space coming up here about the 3 letters. I don't want to go there yet. I want to kind of do what we did and lead off on the back end of the space over here. Because I want to get you first and foremost, because me, Spoon, and the chat over that way talks about this O-line and what's going on and what's happening. Where are you at here since you wasn't in the space within that realm here with all these different things that we're hearing about this offensive line going into Jacksonville?
I mean, I don't love it. If I'm being honest, I don't love it. I understand it. I definitely understand it, because if you put Tyron Smith at right tackle, you're only making one offensive line change. However, I know that the blind side is the most important spot on the offensive line when you have a right-handed quarterback. And I know that Tyler Smith has done well. He's exceeded expectations this year. But there's a difference. West Coast. There's a difference in exceeding expectations and playing well, and exceeding expectations and playing great. I've seen Tyron Smith play great at left tackle. I have not seen Tyler Smith play great at left tackle. So to me, if you're building a home, you start with the foundation. Then you worry about the walls and the roof and the windows and doors and all that other stuff. I need my foundation set. I need to have a good foundation. And to me, that is having my left side solidified, because that's the blind side of Dak. I want pressure if it's coming at all. Ideally, you don't have any pressure, but if it's coming, I want him to be able to see it versus those blind side hits, because that's how you get a quarterback hurt. That's how you miss time. So to me, I would have Tyron Smith at left tackle. Mm-hmm. If you want to put Tyler Smith at left guard or right tackle, I don't care. But that's where I'm starting if I was an offensive line coach. So I don't love it. I also don't love that we know that there's going to be a lot of offensive line rotations this week. I understand, again, if you're going to do that, this would be a good game to do it right before you play the Eagles and then Titans, and then you get ready for the playoffs shortly after that. But none of us really like the offensive line rotation. And we're going to see a lot of it. We know that because the staff has said as much. They practice 5 different offensive line rotations. Doesn't mean we'll see 5 in the game. We may see 2 of those or 3 of those. And maybe Josh Ball plays 2 snaps, or maybe he plays 15 snaps at right tackle, but we're going to see rotation, and I just don't love that. So I understand where they're going with it, but I have to be honest, I don't love it. If it was up to me, Tyron Smith would be your left tackle.
So lay it out. Left to right.
Tyron Smith is my left tackle.
Okay.
He's a
left
Hall of
guard.
Famer. He's the best left tackle on the team, and that's the most important spot on the offensive line. So I'm putting the best player at the most important spot.
Okay. Left guard.
Probably McGovern. Tyler Smith ideally would be your left guard, but now that Terrence Steele's out, obviously that changes the dynamic. So probably McGovern. Then obviously Biotis is good. Zach Martin's good at his spot. And then right tackle, you have Tyler Smith, Jason Peters, and Josh Ball. I feel like 3 guys can hold it down. Tyler Smith would get first nod because of what he's done so far. And you have Jason Peters, who this idea that Jason Peters can't play a full game is crazy to me. This dude started 15 games last year and played over 90% of the snaps in 14 of those 15 games. So, like, why is he now suddenly we have to keep him on a pitch count? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But here we are.
And that's the thing we talked about in space. At a certain point, and this is where I'm at with it, and Spoon, and you can comment on this on the back end, there has to be some hesitancy. I won't say hesitancy. They just know something about Peters, maybe the intimate knowledge on Peters. As long as he's been here, and we've seen him at left guard, we've seen him at left tackle, we've seen him at right tackle, but what we haven't seen is a very high snap count, right?
I get that.
So I just think at this point, and as long as he's been on the team, they don't think he can give you 30 plus snaps a game. That's where I'm at. I just, that's where I'm at. Like, at a certain point, we have to buy that, right, Spoon? They just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just think they're playing more on the safe side where if God forbid, you lose Jason Peters, how can you get another swing tackle where you're going to get one from? I just think they pretty much survived the offensive line situation until then. We're lucky that Tyron Smith is back. We didn't anticipate this. Folks felt like he's done for the year. So it all depends on the snap count, which is a major part. I think with Tyron Smith coming back, I don't see him taking the full snaps at right tackle. I'm definitely going to see Josh Ball get in and out of there. I know a lot of folks didn't like what Josh Ball, how he played last year coming in, but I do think with a full week of preparation could definitely help him out. Just a little bit. Not saying he's gonna take our breath away or anything like that, but I really do think they want to go to this rotation to ease Tyron Smith back into this. At the same time, see what they have in their youth. Like Professor said, when it comes down to the Jacksonville Jaguar game, it's not about overlooking them, but at the same time, you can't play around with a little bit of things. Just understand what you want to do moving forward. And I do agree, if you're going to do this rotation for right now until you see Tyron Smith getting better or anything like that, the foundation needs to be set before we make this playoff. That rotational thing they're doing, it should have happened in the playoffs. So that's where I'm at right now with this.
Question here from a guy on Facebook, Nathaniel. The question reads, who do you guys think is our weakest link on the team, players and coaches, and how can we help them achieve what we all want? Oh, you want to jump in there first?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is an easy one right now. It's cornerback 2, and that's literally anybody playing cornerback 2 right now. Because when Anthony Brown played early in the year, he was probably the weakest link of our defense. And now that Kelvin Joseph's playing there, he's now the weakest link of our defense. So there are things you can do to help that. So we have one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. So press at the line of scrimmage, take away those easy reads, make the quarterback hold the ball a little bit longer, let the pass rush help the secondary and coverage. Roll safety help over there. You can play a little bit more cover 2 looks and things like that, which we haven't played a ton of cover 2 this year, but that would be something that you could do to help him out. So there are things you could do to help him, but in my opinion, it's cornerback 2 and specifically Kelvin Joseph right now. But prior to that, it was Anthony Brown. And I don't think Anthony Brown played terribly, but he also didn't play at the same level as last year. And he was the guy we saw later in the year that started becoming the target. He was the hot read. If you're the quarterback and you see him in coverage and you think it's man, you're targeting him more often than not. So right now for me, it's cornerback 2. So Kelvin Joseph by default because he's that guy right now.
Yeah, I think for me, simply, man, it's right tackle, right? Because we have zero clue of how the Cowboys are going to handle right tackle from a player personnel situation. Just because, I mean, stop me when I'm wrong here, guys. It kind of seems like, well, it'll be some Peters, some Ball, some Tyron, and all those guys just kind of rotate over there at right tackle. So until they kind of situate that, which and you're not wrong at cornerback too, because they've added. We just picked up a guy, right? Spony. We just picked up. Who's the guy we just picked up over there from Arizona? Trayvon Mullins. So I mean, they're kind of churning, the roster at the cornerback position, but man, if Ball's the answer at right tackle, it's a problem. And currently, we can't figure out Peters in his snap counts, right? It's a problem there. And now Tyron Smith coming back from the injury, and he hasn't played right tackle since rookie year, right? He hasn't played.
Rookie year. Yeah. He played in college because he had Matt Khalil or Ryan Khalil. I forget which one it was, but one of the Khalil brothers was the left tackle, and he was the right tackle. And then after he went pro, he moved to left tackle. So he's played right tackle in college, and then his first year in the NFL, but he's been a left tackle. So
yeah, so we got to kind of clean that up and figure that out moving forward here. Kind of hard, 13 games in, but right tackle for me, maybe even more so than the quarterback position. On the backside of that question there, Spoonie, we can think, how about coaches for you? Coaches.
Yeah, Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore?
Kellen Moore. The reason why I say that is because every week, even though we won some games, but we question, what is Kellen doing? Anytime a head coach got to come out there and kind of put his coach under the bus a little bit about, basically having some place for his players, talking about the scheme that he doesn't like, we keep questioning week to week. It has to be Kellen Moore. We don't know what we're gonna get. We don't know. Again, it's like we said in the space. Are we gonna get Jekyll or Hyde?
Right.
That's the problem. So
it's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde with Kellen Moore.
And this is the time of the year where I give the front office some credit because they have been addressing the situation with adding players, and they have. But we have T.Y. Hilton. There's a rumor we about to get the 3-letter word guy. I can't say his name right now. I'm forbidden to. So can we trust Kellen Moore to put those guys in good situation when they're playing? That's the key. When they sign, we're going to ask the same question. So to answer that question right there, I say Kellen Moore.
Oh, agree with Kellen Moore as we kind of covered the players. Would you agree with Kellen Moore as the coach, or?
I mean, I definitely understand the rationale, and I think he probably is who most fans would pick. Honestly, that's a great question. I'm gonna go with Philbin. Like, I still don't trust him in his offensive line evaluations because I don't think he knows what he's doing right now. Evidenced by week after week doing offensive line changes, and this is before Terrence Steele is out. It's not because right now it's different. The offensive line flux right now totally makes sense because you have to do that. You have a major injury. You have a guy coming back who's a Hall of Famer. You're obviously not going to sit him on the bench. So you have to find a spot for him. So I get it now. But we saw last week, Tyler Smith rotated out. Not rotated to left guard, rotated off the field so that we could have Jason Peters and McGovern out there. Like, I just don't know. I honestly can't say I have any confidence in Philbin at all right now. So Kellen Moore, great answer. But just so that we don't all agree, I'm going to go with Philbin because I think he would be the next in line, if not the guys who's equal with him that I just don't have any confidence in.
Pause for a second here. Let me hold on, just give me just a second. Real quick.
All right.
Some back end work, if you will.
Spoonie, I have a question for you.
Sure.
All right, I'm good now. Wait, I'm good. Just a little I had a little Facebook
You answer
message.
that question, and I have an
Let me get there. Yeah,
afterwards.
I got a Facebook message. I had to get there. On the back end though, right? It has to be Joe. Look, in the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde for sure, and it's what we talked about there on the back end of the space, and that's what I was talking about. You just don't know. But on the other side, Joe Philbin. Look, we're 13 games in, ladies and gentlemen. We're 13 games in. Look, it's not ideal with the Terrence Steele injury. It's not. And here comes Tyron Smith. And we're talking about what's going on with Peters. And we don't really have a clear-cut idea of what's happening with Peters. And then there's the ball situation. And then, as O said, like, oh, what are we doing? Like, and we talked about this on the show. We talked about this in the spaces. Just simply, I'm okay with some rotational things and things happening as Tyron Smith is coming down the pipeline of when the game is settled. But when the game is in flux, it's very weird. Yep. And then things kind of moved around. So yeah, Joe Philbin for me. Joe Philbin for me. That's
so we have a guest we're gonna bring on in just a second.
Yeah, bring him on. Yeah.
We'll go ahead and bring him on now. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bring him on now.
Yeah, bring him up. Bring him up. I gotta do some messages real quick.
I got you. Friend of the show, our guy Ricardo Morales.
What's up?
Space Cowboys.
What's up, boys?
Space,
What's up?
Going?
It's going pretty good, guys. You know, I'm excited. We got football tomorrow. We don't have to wait another week or another day, I should say.
Oh.
But
no, you're good. Go ahead. West Coast,
I'm
I
sorry.
got you up next. Go ahead. No, Space.
okay, I didn't know what was going on. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting because we're getting into those games where a lot of playoff implications are going to happen, and I think that a lot of Cowboys fans need to start paying attention because if you're looking for the smoke, now's the time to start looking at opponents.
So, Space, we'll ask you the question.
Mm-hmm.
What player or coach do you think is the weakest link on the team right now? You can give us one of each if you want.
Stephen Jones. I'm sorry, Space.
So player or coach?
Yeah, player or coach or both, whatever you
or
want.
both.
I'll pull up the question so you can see it exactly, but that's basically the gist.
So I would say if I'm looking at a coach, who do you guys think the league? Okay, I personally think because I hear you guys saying Joe Philbin, but my main thing is that there are guys that have performed better this go around. Like we saw Connor McGovern do better this year. We've seen Terrence Steele take another step. I understand that last year it looked a bit like okay, he's starting, but he looked Pro Bowl caliber this year, right?
I
was gonna get to him as well. So I have a hard time saying Joe Philbin. I would say,
before we move off of Philbin though, would it be fair to say it may not be because of Philbin? Because we know that Duke Manyweather worked out a lot with Tyler Giannis and Steele.
And you could make that argument too, and then I say that to people that there is that argument to be had, and I would say that for me, it's hard because with these coaches, I would say the weakest link. It's gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna have to say it. I think John Fossil and the special teams haven't really been their best this year.
I thought about that one.
And here's why. And I understand that the kicking has been fantastic. That's great, right? But think about this. You brought in Devontae Turpin. You know what he could do in the USFL. Well, what has he done, really? Yes, he's had a couple good... I'm not saying he has had terrible times, but he hasn't been what we expected. Let's just keep it a buck, right? And I think that you see these penalties take place on special teams. There hasn't been really unique instances, right? So I think that he's been your weakest link, but he hasn't been horrific, that I could say. But he's been your weakest link. As for a player,
has the punter really been that good this year to y'all?
He's been okay, but not all pro that we were used to last year. So I would say, I mean, weakest link, would he be your weakest link? I guess. I mean, like, but again, like, I feel like it depends on how you view this team. And I guess if I'm thinking about it contextually, yes, he has been the weakest link because field position is what helped the Cowboys a lot last season. And while they haven't been killed by it this go around,
you know what the problem is? They're not letting him go for fake punts. That's the problem.
Right.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Right.
I mean, there's a noticeable shift too on the aggressiveness and trying to block punts too. And maybe some of that is guys like Dorrance Armstrong are playing more defensive snaps now, and you're taking them off of the special teams equation. Same thing with Kelvin Joseph, but we're not going after punts. Like last year, we blocked punts, obviously, which we have a little bit this year, but we were frequently close. Like every game, it seemed like we almost had a block punt, and we were right there. This year, they're not even really close. They're not attempting to, and maybe part of that is because of special teams penalties or whatever other reason. Maybe some of the rotational pieces not being there from a depth standpoint. But I do think that's a noticeable difference this year versus last year in special teams is the amount of aggressiveness in fake punts or kicks or going after blocks.
Simple. Player space, and we'll get to our West Coast.
Yeah, I think player-wise, I mean, you could make the argument for Brian Anger, but I have a hard time saying that because, again, field position hasn't been what's killed the Cowboys on the special team side of things. I mean, I would, because part of me says Schultz, but he's had a couple good plays here and there.
You're just mad because of the drop pass.
Yeah, but again,
I saw your tweet, sir.
Yeah, listen, that's why player execution is important.
True.
So I don't know, guys. It's tough because, you know, I kind of view everybody on the team in a certain light, so it's kind of hard to be like weakest link.
True.
But I mean, I guess I'll say Brian Anger because of what we were expecting, and you signed the guy back on a higher. Yeah, I mean, and for what you were paying for a punter. So,
hey, Wes, you got some backdrop there. But with that being said, West Coast, first and foremost, man, how you doing tonight on this Friday?
Shoot, I'm good, man. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, no, we can hear you fine. Yeah, you're good, brother.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, so, man, I'm doing great. It's your boy West Coast, man, Mr. Run the Damn Ball. You already know what it is, man. I'm ecstatically happy about what my Cowboys are doing, regardless of what it is. They have fought through the adversity, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, no matter what we say tonight, make sure you leave this, you know, this I was about to say space, this video. Very proud of your team and what they've achieved thus far.
10 and 3. That part.
Now, you know, my weakest link as far as coach is by far Kellen Moore. Like by far Kellen Moore. I mean, you're not even able to predict as a team, as a fan base. I'm not able to predict anything of what he's able to do going in from week to week. Like 1 week he'll literally go out there and you're thinking you're about to play a team that's ranked 31st against the run. You for sure know you're about to run the damn ball, but that's not what he does. He comes out there, he runs the ball. He throws the ball 4 times on the opening drive, ends up throwing your quarterback 23 total times in the first half. Then in the second half, he comes out and runs the ball 9 straight times. Like he's literally all over the place. And the reason why he's the weakest link, in my opinion, is because of out of your coaches, he really has the largest responsibility with the highest paid players. So it's like what you're getting from the defense is way more than you ever paid for. Like, we could never say anything negative about the defense because theoretically, you're not even paying for your defense to be this good. But on the go ahead.
Yeah, defense literally saved the game against the Texans with the goal line stand, right?
Shoot, yeah, but at 100. But think about this. Go look at those players that was on that. Go look at the players who made that stop. Every single one of those players is either on a rookie deal that is ridiculously cheap, or they're on a free agent deal, or they're on a free agent deal that's even cheaper than a rookie deal. You are getting so much more than you ever paid for on your defense.
D-Law did show up there. D-Law did show up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got you. You're right.
Yeah, I understand that. But yeah, I mean, D-Law's still a $10 million player. Think about this. If your tight end makes D-Law is your highest paid defensive player right now at $10 million. I have a tight end that makes $800,000 more than him on the offense right now. I have several players on offense that make more than $10 million. And that's what Kellen Moore has. That's what he has at his disposal. So the expectation on the offense always has to be more because you are paying for more. You're paying for your offense to be great, and you're paying for them to be consistent, which I don't believe he is. My weakest link as far as player, like, I hate this. I have to say this in a season. Would probably be LVE, but I will say this to his defense. He is 100% playing better since the Giants game. So weakest link as far as a player right now, I would probably have to say is Kelvin Joseph, just because you're in the same type of situation that you don't really know. Like, you brought in two corners after Jerry Jones said on national radio that he has to become a man. Like, I don't know how becoming a man makes you play corner better. You know what I'm saying? Or decisions, he's talking about his decision making and the stuff I'm like, bruh, none of that has to do with him actually playing football, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and think about this, he's now a starting corner for the Dallas Cowboys. So it's like, as far as weakest link, he has to be the weakest link. He has to. And think about this, since Trevon Diggs is so good, he's your weakest link, and he's about to get the highest amount of targets because that's what Anthony Brown was. Part of the reason why Anthony Brown is having a tough season is because, see, last year he was taking a test and there was only 10 questions on the test. This year he's taking that same test, but the difference is there's 100 questions. There's more. He's falls because nobody wants to throw at Diggs. So it's like, if Anthony Brown struggled with that many targets, I can only imagine what Kelvin Joseph, who, in my opinion, should be your next Jaron Kearse, because in my opinion, he favors Jaron Kearse. His game favors Jaron Kearse more than anything. Like, go look at him on special teams. That boy will come down and hit you. He will come down and tackle you. That is a safety. And so I mean, once I see something, I can't unsee it. I think Kelvin Joseph will be a great safety, but him at corner, in my opinion, it is my weakest link until they show me. And I believe the Cowboys believe that too. That's why you saw we brought in two corners on the practice squad. Each one of them had experience. You know what I'm saying?
A little note on that too a little note on that on free safety is Kelvin Joseph was a 5-star free safety in high school before moving to cornerback in college. So he's done that. He has that pedigree. So that West Coast might be onto something there.
Hey, and I'm telling you, go look at Kelvin Joseph on special teams. Listen to me. Kelvin Joseph, and this is crazy, but I'm going to say it. If the right people were watching him, he should have got Pro Bowl votes on special teams. Because, man, I know 5 plays off the top of my head. My boy Landlord made a video on there, and he did 6 plays from this season on special teams where Kelvin Joseph just flying down there just making ridiculous tackles. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel that special teams is that. But, hey, man, I apologize to do this.
Nope. He's out.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
There.
Is he back? What? Oh, wait. You hear? Yeah. What? Are you breaking up? You hear?
What? You breaking up? You hear? Yeah.
West.
Hey, what I was.
No, he's out again.
All right, well, shout out to West Coast.
Yeah, shout out to West Coast, man. Maybe in a little bad spot there. join on the cell phone. But with that being said, as we said, as I got space, friend of the show, West Coast, it is pinned. If you want to jump up here, have a conversation, it is what it is on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, everybody else. It's not there. But right there on the top of our YouTube channel, it's a pinned comment. Hit the link, come on over here, and move forward.
Can we let's get this question off? I want to ask Space his thoughts on the offensive line. So Space,
oh yeah, sure.
You've heard. I don't know if you heard us or not, but obviously the talk this week is Tyron Smith at right tackle and
or left guard even. But I mean, not now. But we heard.
How do you feel about the rumored offensive line rotations or offensive line change? What do you think?
Gotcha. So I've touched up on this on my channel, which if you guys haven't gone to and subscribe, go to Space Cowboy Media. So I think the biggest thing is that the Cowboys are trying to figure out their rotation before this little mini playoff run that I keep talking about, right? And what I'm worried about is that I'm not a fan of doing it against a team like Jacksonville, especially, well, not even that. You have the 4 games remaining, and you have really damn good defensive lines you're going up against. So I would say in practice, I'm okay with it. But if you're doing this out on the field, I have a problem with it, right? So I'm hearing they're going to keep the left side the same, and then they're going to throw Tyron over to right tackle, which I'm okay with that. But at the same time, continuity is huge, especially as you get further and further along in this, because it's not a good thing for your quarterback. It's not a good thing for the fact that your offensive line is 31st in pass rush win rates or whatever it is, or pass block win rates. It's just, I'm shocked at how this Cowboys team has gotten this far with what they've been doing. So I just want them to pick with something and stick with it. Plain and simple. I know we've had the discussions of what do you do with Tyler Smith, right? Okay, do you put him on the bench? Do you slide him in the left tackle? And kind of that's what the route they were going to go with. But now Terrence Steele's gone. And you're kind of like, well, shit. Is Jason Peters good to go for a full game? Like, can we have him for a full game? Well, no. Do we trust Josh Ball? Well, apparently they don't. That's why you're having Tyron go out there. So I've always said this. I'm not asking Tyron to be a full season. Listen, this season is a long one, 17 games. And plus postseason, if you go all the way, you're looking at 4 more games. If you could get 8 out of Tyron, I think that's successful. I think you can. All right. But I'm worried with easing him in, especially against those guys over in Jacksonville. But you know what? If this is the game to mess around, you better do it now, because I swear to God, if I'm seeing this against Philadelphia or other playoff teams, I'm going to have an issue with it. But that's where I stand on it.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing.
Do you
real quick, just give me a second, because on the space we kind of talked about this on the Twitter space. Here's my thing, and I think clarity matters. And what I think when it comes to clarity is simply, we don't have enough intimate knowledge when it comes to Peters, when it comes to Tyron Smith. Like, we don't know. Right. Obviously, Peters has been here for a very long time now in a football season aspect, right? That they don't trust him to play 30, 40 snaps. Obviously, like we had to come to that conclusion. We're going to follow the tea leaves. It's what it is. Now, with Tyron coming back from the injury, and remember, his whole hamstring off the bone, right? Am I wrong there? Hamstring was off the bone, knee, fractured knee, right? Where was it at there?
Off the bone.
Off the bone. Okay, cool. Yeah. Off the bone. And now he's back. So we don't know the intimate knowledge of how ready he's going to be to play X amount of snaps. That's a conundrum that we don't know, with the outside frustration of some flipping, because we're dealing with, before this setup in the Terrence Steele injury, of back to what O said earlier, we were watching the game and Tyler Smith's on the sideline, and here's Peters and McGovern. Like, what are we talking about? Whatever the case. The conundrum now is, because of the Steele injury, here's these guys with Smith coming right back, but obviously they've shown the compensity that they're not going to do much with Peters. Situational. Where is Tyron at in his health? And I think that's kind of the, situation we find ourselves in. And it's, look, one thing about Garrett's era, we just kind of knew, right? We kind of knew. The one thing about McCarthy, it was, we wanted some more secrecy and not everything out there. And now they're like, mother effer, we don't know. We just don't know.
Yeah, and I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, my main thing too is, and this is what I will appreciate with what Mike McCarthy has done, is he's not afraid to change up what's going on the fly, especially if something's effing up. Like, especially towards the end of that Texans game, dude, listen, Josh Ball, you ain't cutting, my guy. Get the hell out of here, and let's go get a game-winning drive. And I think that's something that I like, and I don't have a. Here's what I will say. The switching this year has worked more than it did last year, because I felt like with last year, you stuck with a line and then you started messing with it. With this, you've kind of been doing it throughout the season, so you were acclimated as a team knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine, as we've talked about it, I wouldn't be shocked if Tyron, like, maybe he starts the game and they kind of pull him in and out of the game to kind of give him some time to get back into the swing of things. But again, I think that at the tackles, you might see Jason Peters coming on both sides, and then you'll see Connor
We're going to see Ball.
You're going to see it.
Real quick. look, and then the Spoonie, we got the question. Is Ball going to play Sunday?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he's But then again,
we're going to see like 7 offensive linemen Sunday.
I just don't know how you do that. Like, how do you, if we take Jason Peters' word for what it is, how do you have Jason Peters on the sideline saying, that's not it, we need somebody else at right tackle to win this game, and Joe Philbin go up to him and be like, we need you to win this game? How do you then 1 week later be like, just kidding, Josh Ball, go out there, like,
just get
good.
So you wait, pause. That's a great point. Let's press that point real quick. Does Peters believe he can be a full-time guy, and this team in his age group or whatever doesn't believe that? Oh, is that maybe some of the conundrum here?
I don't know, because prior to last week, Jason Peters hasn't played right tackle in a game since 2006.
Sure.
So maybe beforehand when they talked to him, I mean, we don't know. Maybe there were conversations like, hey, how do you feel about playing right tackle? And he was like, if you need me, fine, but I'm a left side guy. Maybe. And then he got a chance to do it in game reps. I was like, I can do this. It's not that bad. Because we heard his quote was, I know how to stay in front of people, whatever. So
right.
Maybe there's some confidence building in him that, yeah, I could be that guy. Or maybe there's not. I mean, like you said, there's got to be some reason. Conceivably, there has to be some reason that the team just does not have faith in him playing a significant amount of snaps, because otherwise we would have probably seen it at some point. So I don't know what it is, because in my mind, I'm like, he played 90% of the snaps or more in 14 of his 15 starts last year. So what's different now? He was 39 last year. That's super old for an offensive tackle. Now he's 40. Suddenly 40 is what's changed? Like, what happened?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But maybe he doesn't feel like he can do it full time. I don't know. It's a good question.
See, I think it's more of them being cautious. But at a certain point, and here's my point that I said on Space, the Twitter Space, was simply this. Theoretically, 8 games at most. 8. 4 regular season. The ultimate goal would be 4 postseason, because Cowboys go 14-3 and not be the number 1 seed. Spoon, I ain't forgot about you. I know you have something to tell us. I think I'm gonna let you do a sermon tonight. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because on the Space, you was like, not division, and I was like, oh, well, pause. And I want to get to it within this context. However, I think that might need to be another Spoonie sermon. We might do a Spoonie sermon tonight on that point right there. But 8 games. Look, Tyron Smith and Jason Peters, Space, they're both old. Start one, give me 4.5 games. Start the other one, give me 3.5 games, and the rest of the offensive line stays the same. Can we do that?
I think that's fair. I personally think if it were up to me, go ahead, and I understand we're getting ready to make that playoff push, What I would do is if I had it my way, like if it's Burger King, for example, have it your way. Not sponsored, by the way.
They should definitely sponsor
We
you.
ain't tripping.
Yeah, but what I would like to see in the first postseason game, I would love to see just best 5. If you think your best 5 is Tyron, Tyler C, or Tyler S, Tyler B, too many Tylers on this goddamn team.
Too
You
many
got
Trayvons
Zach
now
Martin,
too. While we're at it.
Zach Martin, and then you got Jason Peters. If you can tell me, or if you can give me that for 4 games, like you can't give me that excuse. You can't give me that for 4 games, right? That's all I'm looking for is, dude, I need to have the best team constructed for that run, and I don't give a shit how easy that first matchup is on paper. They got to get this thing figured out.
But you know what's going to happen? They're going to play with this shit for the last 4 games. They're going to play with it and then try to hit it around. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know where the hell Spoony went. He might be like, he might have go and do some oh, there he is. I was like, I don't know where he went.
What I missed.
Whatever. But let's get here. And Weed, I love. I don't know where he went. He just dropped. I love. Come back. But ultimately, we got 4 games left. They're going to play with this thing.
Yeah.
Let's say the Cowboys go 14-3. So I ain't jumping on your thunder. Let's say 14-3, and we had to go on the road week 1 of the playoffs and go see the Panthers, the Falcons, the Bucks, whoever it is. Week 1 playoffs, NFC South. Left to right, who is in your opinion? No rotation, none of this. We're going to get through the rotation stuff, and we're going to be set, right? Moving forward, barring injury. Oh, I'll start with you. I'm going to go clockwise here for everybody. Who is your left to right offensive line going into the playoffs? You can play with it. Look, we understand they're going to play with this. Obviously, spoiler alert, I think they're going to play with this in the Eagles game as well. I really do.
I think they do it all games. There's no way in hell that I believe that we're going to do it one game and be like, we definitely know. Because if Josh Ball plays 8 snaps and Peters plays 10 snaps and Tyron plays the rest of the, so 42 snaps or whatever.
Yeah.
How can you really gauge what Jason Peters and Josh Ball did in that small of a sample size compared to Tyron? Like,
I'm gonna tell you why. I got you. I got you. Where's the money?
Yeah, or the draft pick, right? That's what it always comes down to. So if you're asking me what I'm doing,
round one, left to right, no more rotation. Who is it?
Yeah, it's Tyron Smith at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, Tyler Biotis at center, Zach Martin at right guard, and then Jason Peters at right tackle. That's my starting 5 for the playoffs.
Okay, Spoony, left to right. Who is it? Chat. Let's know who you think as well. We're gonna throw it up here.
All right, I got Tyler Smith at left tackle. I have Connor McGovern at left guard. I got Tyler Biotis at center. I got Zach Martin at right guard, and I got Tyron Smith at right tackle.
Space.
As much as I want to go with O's idea, I think that the most logical answer is what Spoony said.
We're not going logic. We're going.
No. Hear me out. It is going to be.
Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand, guys.
It's going to be.
Spoony's got it right, damn it.
No.
Right.
It's Tyler McGovern, Tyler again, Tyler B, Zach, and Tyron. You need. I'm telling you, you're going to need 2 tackles that can play through a whole game for those defensive lines you're going to face.
Spoony Nix is coming. I know it. I can see it. It's about to happen.
Josh Ball is for.
Playoffs is 4 games, right? Y'all are crazy. Look,
I already know where you're going with this.
Be clear. these last 4 games of the regular season, they're going to do whatever. They're going to do whatever. I don't care. Actually, I don't care who wins the division. I'll be clear here. Like, I want to do it, but ultimately, I don't care if we do it. Here's the thing. We're talking about this offensive line and Philbin and this, that, and Skeletor and all these things. I need 4 games. I need 4 games. That's it. Because we'll beat Jacksonville. Spoiler alert. We'll beat Jacksonville. And if y'all caught the Wednesday show, I said we're going to see a pissed off Cowboys team that we haven't seen since the Minnesota game. That's how I feel. If we're talking about the offensive line in the playoffs and how we look, left to right, Tyler Smith, Jason Peters, Tyler B, aka the badass Spoonie, the badass from Wisconsin, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith. Give me that for 4 games and let's roll.
All right, that's not where I thought you were going with that.
Because there's no better offensive line in that realm for 4 games. There's just not.
There is. There is.
No, I don't think there is.
There is. It won't happen, but this is the best 5 for the Cowboys right now.
Who's a better offensive
Tyron
line?
Smith at left tackle. Tyler Smith at left guard. Tyler Giannis at center.
I don't think so.
Connor McGovern at right guard.
I don't think so.
And Zach Martin at right tackle. Because Zach Martin is the second best tackle you have on the team. He won't play it, but he is.
He couldn't even last. You said Martin at right tackle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how
they
many
won't
games
do that.
played?
That's never happening. I'm just saying.
No. But you say he's the best right tackle, the second best right tackle on the team. He played it once. He played it once. How many games did he last?
He was good.
He was good. How many games?
He's done it more recently in a longer stretch than any other player we have.
How many games did he last?
I think it was 3, right? 3 games.
He's not built for it. There's a reason why he says it. He's not built for it.
I'm just saying.
I don't think he's built for it, personally.
I thought you were Tyler Smith at right tackle, which
no, I ain't doing. Yeah, I ain't playing with that.
No, because if I put Peters there next to him, I'm kosher. And look, if I'm telling you 4 games later, it's Martin and Tyron on the right side, back to back. It's where it's at. And look, I ain't talking for a whole season. Like, if we were in like week 2, week 3, different things, that's different. I'm asking you, we're in the playoffs, 4 games, be who you are right there in that stretch. That's the reason. Playoffs right there. Martin and Tyron on the right side. And now Peters, I'm not playing with you. You're playing the entire game. To Martin over this, to Tyler Smith on this side. I ain't got no problems. I don't need it for an entire season. I need it for 4 games. 4 games, that lineup is what it is. Now, if this is like, I don't know, week 4, 5, whatever. Yeah. Tyron, go over to left tackle. I get it. Look, work the rust off, do what you got to do, whatever the case may be. But I'm telling you now, for the playoffs, only the playoffs, Ricky Smith, Peters, Tyler B, Martin, Tyron. Give it to me. Inject it in my veins, and we roll.
Here's the issue, though. Every team you play in the playoffs, let's backtrack for a second. Tyler Smith has exceeded expectations, 100%. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Tyler Smith is not a good left tackle right now in the NFL. Every single team you play in the playoffs is going to have a good pass rusher, and they're going to line them up over Tyler Smith. So you are inviting them to play their best pass rusher on your quarterback's blind side the entire game by not having Tyron Smith at left tackle. The Cowboys are going to probably do that because that's how they roll. They're going to do that.
Cool.
I just don't believe that any other team in this situation if they had a Trent Williams
I don't
or
care
they
about
had
any
a
other team.
whatever
No.
tackle, would swap.
I don't care about any other team. We're talking about us, and we're right here. If all these other teams, let's go right here.
I think that's a fair point, though, that we're operating our offensive line differently than any other team as is.
You've been doing that already. So the playoff scenario that I'm talking about,
So
who
it doesn't
cares?
help
We've
you.
been rotating.
Okay, cool. So when you play the 49ers in the playoffs and they play Nick Bosa opposite the entire game, or Joey Bosa, whichever Bosa they have, the entire game.
It's Nick
Both.
Whichever Bosa.
all the Bosas.
The entire game.
Sure.
Kayvon Thibodeau, who's not had a good rookie season, ate Tyler Smith alive just 3 weeks ago.
Sure.
You're going to put Tyler Smith on Bosa the entire game? You're going to have to help constantly.
I want to also remember something, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Playoffs, I'll say this. Playoffs are a different animal, right? Why? You're never going to know what you're going to get. It's like, what is it? Forrest Gump, it's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what it's going to give you. Because you will have teams, right? Like, we are assuming, and I'll give this point here. We're assuming that we're going to be facing these defensive lines and they're going to be 100% on their A game throughout the entirety of the game. Now, that can happen. Yeah, definitely. But knowing how the NFL is, I highly doubt that will be the case, right? So I've watched how the teams operated, and you kind of see these configurations, and they're like, how many sacks have we given up? 16? The least in the league, right? We're number one in the league, right? Because we've not, and you could
against the backup quarterback that can't run.
Right,
either.
right, exactly. So the way I look at it, right, is that the Dallas Cowboys have kind of figured out ways to win games given their situation, right? So I'm looking at, you look at your list of opponents, right? You're talking about the 49ers. Well, you're not going to face the 49ers maybe until the NFC Championship game. If things work out, you might face them in the divisional round, right? But odds are you're going to go through these three teams. Tampa Bay, the Eagles, and the 49ers, right? My main thing is that you look at Tampa Bay, right?
We won't get the Eagles. Whoa. We won't get the Eagles in the second round.
No, he didn't mean that order. He's just saying.
No, I'm not saying that. No. I'm saying, like, if you might see those teams, odds are, because that will most likely. But you kind of have to look at those teams and you say to yourself, okay, am I afraid of what Tampa Bay has to offer, right? Am I going to be scared of what? And based off of what I'm seeing there, kind of, not really. I think that I can, get past that. Okay. Let's say you get past that, right? You go to the 49ers. Let's just say we go to Santa Clara, right? You got Nick Bosa. Who else you got on there? Anybody? Like...
Well, you got Ekibon, who's over there.
I'm just chilling. This is, y'all open holes in my spread.
So my main thing is, and then you go to Philadelphia. Who does Philadelphia have? What, Hassan Reddick?
TJ Edwards.
Okay, a couple guys. So, like, the thing is that, again, you're banking on that one superstar guy to have, like, to feast on this. But has that happened really, like... to the point to, I'm not trying to excuse poor play because we've seen it from Ty because he's young, right? But when have we seen a situation to where, hey, we're getting dominated by that one player, really, and it's causing, like, how many points have we put up throughout this entire stretch of games? Let me ask you that. 27, 28?
Yeah, since Dak's been back, we're averaging over 30
right?
points a game.
So...
But we have seen that, to answer your question before we go on. We saw that with the Rams when they suddenly slot. It's Aaron Donald. I get that. I understand that. But then we saw Kayvon Thibodeau, who's had a bad season, have 5 pressures, a sack, or something like that. He's not a good player. You're going to face better pass rushers on every single team you play in the playoffs than Kayvon Thibodeau.
Right, and I get that.
Right. On his own team.
But so, like, when I kind of look at this as a whole, I look at how the Cowboys are playing. I look at how the offensive line's playing, and yeah, do we have our moments? Sure, but if I'm worried about one guy, and keep in mind, we're blocking 4 or 5 guys, not just one, right? I've heard these conversations before, like, and I think that that's something where when you get to the postseason, remember what people say? Like, oh, this defensive line is going to be unblockable, this, that, and a third. I've seen it done. I don't care at this point because at the end of the day, just get the job done. The Cowboys are showing they can do it. I'm not that super worried because I've seen it. So I guess that's my opinion.
Where I push back with that, I think Nick has something to say too, so I'm going to tap out so you can say that. But I thought you were talking about specifically with edge rushers because the 49ers have a stout front seven in general. The Eagles, you're going to have guys like Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Hargraves. Like, it's not just Hassan Reddick. Like, so when we were having that conversation, I apologize if I misread. I thought we were only talking about who's the edge rusher specifically going up against.
I'm sorry.
We're going to have, like, in totality, a lot of guys. So you're going to solo one-on-one with those edge rushers, not just have, you know, obviously one guy you have to account for in the D-line. And I don't think that's what you meant. I just want to...
No, I got you. Go ahead.
So I just have concerns because I know how Dan Quinn, or at least I'm pretty sure I know how Dan Quinn operates. And I think we all know what he would do with Micah Parsons in that situation is Micah would be lined up over Tyler Smith as often as possible in the playoffs. And I think every defensive coordinator you face in the playoffs will do the exact same thing. Now you can have tight ends, chips, you can have help and things like that. I just am concerned because that's my quarterback's blind side.
Right.
That's also the spot that Dax got hurt on this year was from Tyler Smith. Week 1, rookie. I get it. I'm just saying that's where your weakness is going to be on your offensive line going into the most important part of your season. Period.
Okay, got it. So let's not do 3 Hall of Famers. Let's not do that. But let's put 3 Hall of Famers. I get it. They're old. Because I'm not asking for a whole year of production. I just need 4 games.
Well, you can do the 3 Hall of Famers with what I said because I had all 3 out there too.
Wait. Because if he's struggling out here, he can struggle inside too. We haven't seen that much of the inside. Like, it's really funny to me. Just to me. Oh, just put him inside. He's fine. We haven't seen him that much inside. Look, and I like him on the inside. It's cool. I'm not mad at it. We ain't seen him there. But here's my thing. You want to dictate to other teams, right? Okay, if the alignment that I gave y'all, right? Tyler Smith, Peters, the badass, Martin, Tyron, then if they want to sit there, and this is where I got to trust the coaches. Hey, we look at the offensive line. Okay, well, there's the rookie at left tackle. We're going to go over there and we're going to attack it. Well, God bless it, Kellen Moore. Figure it out. If that's the only spot,
Philbin and Kellen though,
but that's not the point. We have to look at the roster that we have. Okay, but no matter, you can flip this thing any way you want to. However we flip it though, it's still about Philbin and Kellen Moore figuring it out. If I can simplify it to, I got all this across the board, and okay, the rookies out here attack it. Then our coaches should be worth their salt to figure out, hey, let's figure that out over there, and we're good the rest of the way over here. That's all I'm saying. Look, and I'm with you, the stats are there, and they don't like it. They don't like the stats. I know they don't like these numbers that you put out there. The last 4 weeks, right, on the rook, on Tyler Smith, little But you know what? If I replace, and look, Connor's not had a bad year, but if I put the Peters in for a full-time side, does it get better for him? Right? We have to look at that at least, because we have to at least buy that Tyron and Martin, 2 Hall of Famers on the right side, should not be an issue. Can we agree on that?
I definitely agree with that. But again, it's the whole blind side first seeing. If we had a left-handed quarterback, I wouldn't care at all. I'd be like, yeah, absolutely do that. But it's just that's peripherals. You know?
Right. And
that's why it matters.
And I'm giving a Tyron guy who we've seen come back from injury be a little sus when he gets worked back in. But over here, as you said, well, they're going to put the Nick Bosa's over there, so he should be good. Like, we have to worry about that. He should be good. So I'm literally saying my entire offensive line playoff-wise, I have maybe one issue on the left. And we can say where we want.
Spot.
That's cool. That's great. Hold on. Let me walk my line. That's great. And we can say that about Tyler Smith. But we also can't say that Tyler Smith hasn't played good at times. Like, are we going to say he's been trash all year?
No, he hasn't been trash.
And
but
that's
he also, on the offensive line, he leads the team in penalties. He leads the team in sacks allowed. He leads the team in pressures allowed. He leads the team in quarterback hits and leads the team in hurries. He's been better than expected, but not great. So if you have a chance who's better than him, you should play that guy.
He leads the team in sacks on a team that has the least amount of sacks in the entire league.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so I limited it to I know where the problem might be, and we'll handle that. See,
Wouldn't it be
you're thinking
easier,
about the
though,
player.
if your quarterback could see the
You're
pass
thinking
rush
about the
coming?
player. I got you. You're thinking about the players, and I get that. What I'm saying is, if I know where I have to do something, let me simplify it not for the player. Let me simplify it for Kellen. It's just here. It's just right here. You might have to do something and help. That's only where I'm at. If Kellen can't do that, then I'm with you.
Do you think Kellen can do that in the playoffs? Do you think Kellen can do that? Because that also adds to the equation. Because if he's not in that spot, you don't have to worry about that quite as much.
I agree. I'm just saying, do we think Kellen can do that? If he can't do that,
he's gonna need to.
Then we're effed. Then my whole point is F. My whole point is that if we came by if we came by Kellen to do that, then we're effed. Do you think Kellen can do that?
I mean, until we win multiple playoff games, it's hard to say what our team can and can't do. Like, we hope he can, but I don't know that he can because I haven't seen him do it in playoff games. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, and which is why I'm like, I'm trying to mitigate the risk by giving him, and not even him, I'm actually taking it out of Kellen's hands because I'm putting it in Dak's hands at that point by saying, you may have a pass rush. You probably will. They're going to put it against your rookie, but at least you can see it coming. I'm actually helping Dak in this equation and taking less of the pressure off of Kellen and giving it to Dak because I trust Dak more than Kellen.
How are you doing it?
How am I doing it? By putting him on the right side.
You seen Tyler this year on the right side?
I haven't, but I would rather see him on the right side because, again, it's my quarterback, who I think is a franchise caliber quarterback, can see the pass rush.
So Tyron's playing left side.
Tyron's my left tackle.
I got you.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much he played this year?
He hasn't played at all, but I know what he can do.
Do you?
And I've seen what Tyler can do, so I would take my chances
we
on
saw,
the Hall of Famer.
but we've seen Tyron come back from injury and not be the same guy, though, right? Is that fair to say?
For a small period. When have we seen Tyron come back from injury and not been even close to what he was before?
Last year?
He was good last year. Aside from the 49ers game, he was pretty good last year. Tyron was still one of the best tackles in the league last year.
I just have one correction for everybody here. We're not visiting nobody. We're getting visited.
That guy's Spoon!
I love it, Spoon. But again, like, just to give the numbers out there, you guys can think in none of our thoughts will dictate what the Cowboys do. They're going to rotate. We're going to see different things repeatedly through the rest of the season.
None of us want Ball to play, but he's going to play.
We're all on the same page. We're all on the same page with that.
But look, man, the postseason is a different animal. Like I said, you have a if you get that first spot, 3-game season, right? If we have gone stretches of times where we've seen Tyler play good for 4 to 3 game stretches, have we not?
We have, yeah. That's fair.
So, who's and again, this is part of the equation of in that we haven't seen this person play here and that person play there, but in a positive light, right? We could see a situation where Tyler starts picking this thing up towards the postseason, and then we're having different conversations, right? And again, I'm not asking. I mean, I would love to have all pros on the line. All I'm asking for is just do your goddamn job. That's all I need.
This is what blows my mind in this conversation, though. We have not won a Super Bowl in forever, and we have a wide open window, probably arguably the best window we've had in a long time, and we're betting on the rookie left tackle over the Hall of Famer.
Oh, that's great.
That's what we're doing.
Because your right tackle is gone. I understand why we're having conversations. Pause. Wait, pause. So you want to bet on the rookie right tackle over the Hall of Famer right tackle? Because the rookie
because he's a Hall of Fame left tackle. He's not a Hall of Fame right tackle. He's a Hall of Fame left tackle.
Okay.
So I'm betting on him to play the position.
He's also all pro. Well, we're being honest. He's also a all pro right tackle, rookie season, long time ago. I know.
He was not an All-Pro his rookie year. He was not an All-Pro his rookie year.
Pro Bowler? Whatever.
I don't think he was a rookie his Pro Bowl year. I think he gave up like 8 or 9 sacks or something like that his rookie year. But it was good after that.
Dial it up. I might be crazy. I don't care. It's fair.
We can. We will do that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. I'm not mad at it. I might be wrong. Look, I'll completely own that I'm wrong. That's fair. I'm not even mad at that. But I'm like, we went 10-3. Be clear. We went 10-3 with Tyler Smith at left tackle. And now we should say no.
Rookie year, 8 sacks allowed, 20 hurries, 30 pressures. He led the team, or second in the team in hurries, and led the team in sacks. But again, that was a rookie year.
Cool. Tyler Smith's a rookie. What's his stats?
I'll pull it up right now.
Pull the Tyler Smith rookie numbers up right now.
This is a fun conversation we're having, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's definitely fun.
This is great.
It is. So Tyron gave up 30 pressures the entire year.
Yeah.
Tyler's given up 29 pressures already.
We're working on
I said pressures.
No, don't cherry pick. Just read them exactly how you read them.
Cool. Bet. We'll do that. Tyler's given up 4 sacks, 8 hits, 17 hurries, 29 pressures in less games. The sacks, here's what's kind of frustrating about it is I'm not saying Tyler Smith has been a bad player. I'm saying I'm betting on the All-Pro Hall of Famer to play left tackle, which is the most important spot.
Got you.
And then I will figure the rest of the offensive line out.
You're betting on a guy that hasn't practiced and done nothing all year.
So
over a guy who's been playing it all season.
It's cool. You are agreeing that you would rather see Tyron play right tackle, Tyler left tackle. That's fine. That's no problem. That's what the team probably is going to do too.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
That's the lineup you gave us. That is what you said.
You're betting on him, who hasn't played all year, to play left tackle.
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. And you're betting on that Tyler, who has not played right tackle all year, to go over there and be okay.
Well, I would rather Peters, but if I have to play Tyler there, that's fine.
But Peters, that's our problem. That's our conundrum here, though.
I understand the conundrum. I get that.
Right. No, it's for sure a conundrum. They don't believe in Peters enough for whatever reason, right? They're not. Oh, idiot!
Oh no, he didn't.
That's not what he's saying at all. That's not what he's saying. We're having a great, open-minded conversation about this offensive line, and this is great because the thing about, and we have to be honest, right? When it comes to Peters, he's been here. Look, Tyron got hurt before regular season. They signed. They signed Peters. What's the high snap count that Peters has got all year? Left guard, left tackle, right tackle. What's his high snap count this year?
It hasn't been high. We can look it up. I don't think it's
15.
Listen,
15. They don't believe in him physically. Is where I'm at when it comes to Peters. Is all I'm saying.
Right. My thing too is, guys. Let me ask you this. Last year, you had a team and the Cincinnati Bengals go to the Super Bowl. And was their offensive line that great? Let me ask you that.
No, would you say they had one of the worst offense lines?
Okay. Statistically speaking, yes, right? Mm-hmm. But they played, they did their part, right? Now, my main thing is has every team, okay, we have all these Hall of Famers, we get that, right? Have we had situations where, this person gave up this many stats and stuff like that, and statistically speaking, has the best offensive line, right, always made it to the championship? Not always, right?
No.
So what I'm trying to get at here, right, is that when I'm looking at this offensive line, right, let's pivot back to here, right? Do you believe, regardless of whatever config, let's just say they just stick with what they got, right, and do this rotation stuff. Do you think that offensive line is better than what the Bengals put out last year?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you think it's good enough to win a championship? Let me ask you that. Or do their job to get a championship?
I mean, yeah, I do. Yes. Well, actually, no, I know
it's a loaded question.
We're having a whole conversation because now we don't have Terrence Steele. What we had prior, yes, but now that we don't have Terrence Steele, we're making changes.
Okay,
it does make sense.
That's right. And the reason I bring up these points is because I think that what's important to talk about is that we want to see the best offensive line. I'm not saying that we have to just, all right, guys, let's throw out all these bums. But I think what's key is that as long as whatever they roll with, and this is something that I did not see in previous playoff runs with other teams, right? They didn't shuffle the thing around, right? That's key. So I like how we're having this discussion now, right? Because I'm pretty sure this is kind of the discussions they're having in-house, right? Because at the end of the day, when you get to the postseason, you can't be doing that stuff, especially if games are going certain ways, right? So I would say that given with where we're at, we don't need to have all pros all across the line, right? If Tyler Smith is just doing the bare minimum, right, with what he's been doing, if he's doing, listen, I'm confident in Tyler Smith. He can do that job just fine. I think he'll be fine. I think he can throw Connor out there, and I think I'll be fine with that too, right? But I'm not saying that I prefer it. What I'm saying is, though, is that I've seen worse get trotted out there, and people have got the job done, right? And so just figure this shit out. That's really my main thing. Just figure it out. But I've seen worse do better, so it's just what I'm getting at.
I like it, Space. I just want to argue with
here's the stat.
some more.
No, it's fine. So to Nick's point, if you look at Jason Peters' snap counts this year,
Ugh.
yeah, 21 is the highest, and that was 4.
No, 27. What? Houston, 27 right there.
Oh, my
right?
bad. Yeah,
No?
Houston 27, and then
Right.
prior to that was 21. So not a lot.
Spoony, my 30 and under the space was real. Thank God. I said 30 and under. I didn't know. I was like, they wasn't playing 30 steps. Thank God.
Yeah, and again, since I'm the only one standing here, which is totally fine, I don't think Tyler Smith has been a terrible player. He's not a massive liability or anything like that. I'm just saying I'm betting on the Hall of Famer there over the rookie 100 out of 100 times. Just to be clear. In case
No, here's the thing, Professor. Here's the thing. Regardless if we all agree or disagree, the whole thing is this, and you're right. You want that left side protected. That's important. That's very important. We're not gonna have a good time.
I saw y'all. Whenever it's out, hold on, Spoon.
Hey man,
No, hold on, Spoon.
Listen here,
as I was out there at the draft and everything, and I was over here. Look, I was grinding on the channel for 16 hours. Where I was having a good time and doing all this things on the back end. As I was out here giving this draft a B+, and y'all told me I was terrible about that. Y'all didn't Tyler Smith out the game.
I did. And but I'm also willing to admit he's played better than I thought he would, which is great. That's been a great thing. And I hated him at left guard. I'm okay with it at tackle, but I also, if I have Tyron Smith coming back, that's a different conversation.
Oh,
But
damn it! Oh,
but you know what's
It's very important. That needs to be protected. And listen, we all concerned about the offensive line, the shape. Hopefully by Sunday, we will see something that we like moving forward. Hopefully they'll stick by it. But that is the main thing, protecting Dak Prescott at all costs. Nothing wrong with that.
Protecting Dak Prescott at all costs. So protecting the blind side.
But you're asking a guy who we've seen before. Proof is in the pudding. Miss time. Not even this much time. Miss time and come back and be rusty. We saw that.
I think that's natural. Yeah, I think that's a fair point, and I also think it's natural too that a guy who's missed a significant amount of time when they first come back will be rusty. I think we all agree with that part. What I guess I'm disagreeing though is I don't think we've seen Tyron Smith, and maybe you and I just saw it differently last year. When Tyron Smith came back from injury, I don't think he was immediately good the first game. And I know that the last game, obviously against the 49ers, was bad. But I think everything in between there was good. So I don't think he was bad last year, or I don't think he was average last year. I think he was one of the better tackles in the league still last year. Gotcha. So maybe we just see it differently there.
I think what we should do, let's go back to the playoff game. I think that's our problem. Maybe not a problem. Just
I said he was bad in the playoffs. He wasn't good in the playoffs.
He wasn't good in the playoffs, and I think.
But I'm not using that one game to say his last year.
Right? No. Overall, his entire career speaks for itself. not sitting here, Cowboys Nation. I'm not sitting here trying. Don't be clear when I'm saying this. I'm not sitting here trying to excuse my language
Nick
here.
said Tyron Smith.
I'm not shitting on Tyron Smith. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I've seen him with the injuries, different things happen. And look, go check the content, Spoony. Go check the content. I was the biggest Tyron guy. I'm off of Tyron. He finally had the surgery, and I was like, oh, finally, I've been begging for this. He got the surgery. He's going to be okay. And then Conor McGovern rode up on his damn leg, and then we went through all this bullshit that we went through. And I'm like, so I had to come to an agreement of, okay, it's just what it is. We owe Spoony, as we were going through the construct of what was happening, and the Tyron, well, we're good. And then what? Boom! He got hurt again. So how do I keep him not from getting hurt for 4 games? Go play right tackle. Don't face the Nick Bosa's. You're not young enough, fella. Go over here. Hey, the best DNs, no, you can't do that. You're getting hurt. Go over there. Kellen Moore, figure it out. Block some things on the other side. I don't know what to do here. No. Screw y'all. I don't hate him. I said he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't hate him. When's the last time he played? I don't know. Slow number here, Space. How about 13 games? When's the last
time he played 8 games? That's what I care about.
The last time I believe he's played 13 games was, Jesus, 2017, 2016.
And y'all want him? And you want him to go and get Nick Bosa's and all these other guys?
Over rookie at left tackle, yes, 100 out of 100 times. It's just that's where I'm at with it. You talking about rust? I got 4 games. Get on Rusty. Do what you need to do.
Wait, 2019. 2019 was the last time. 2019. I'm sorry. 2019. 2019 is the last time he gave you 13 games.
I'm just taking the veteran Hall of Famer at his best position when he's the best player at it every time.
Let's just throw out Josh Ball.
But he can't play. All right, look, you know, actually, oh, you're right.
Thank you. That's 3 of the 4 now.
Wait.
Myself included, thinking I'm right. So we have 3 of 4 now.
Pause.
No, you said I'm right. That's what you need to pay attention to. Major Keeler, as Nick says.
What you said, Major Keeler, just do it for 4 games.
Yeah.
The problem is we got 8 games left, and he can't do it.
Well, no, he's played 8 game stretches. But you said
when?
Nick said
19?
He's rusty out the gate. So cool.
He is.
Unrust as much as you want. Do what you gotta do, and then you'll be ready to go for the playoffs.
Like, hold on. Are y'all literally going to tell me he showed up after being injured and being all pro, or it was like, oh shit?
No, there was a ramp up, and I got 4 weeks to ramp him back up to his spot.
Is he gonna give it? Can he play 8 games?
I think he can.
No. Would you bet your house on him playing 8 more games?
I would bet my house on him before I would bet on the rookie.
No,
dude.
No. Oh, that's not what I asked you. Is he playing 8 more games?
It is, because I have to choose between the 2. So I would bet my house on him over Tyler Smith. Yes.
But Tyler Smith's gonna play 8 games for sure.
He's not for sure. We don't know that.
Oh. If you're betting, like, low key.
I hope he does.
Stop. Pause though. If right now, here's the bet. You got to pick 1 or 2 players for the next 8 games. We don't know if the Cowboys are going to go out here and win the Super Bowl. We don't know. But right now, there's 8 games left theoretically in the season. And you got to pick 1 guy.
Yep, I'm taking Tyron.
And they're going to tell you 1 guy's not going to play all 8. It's Tyron Smith. And Tyler Smith.
There's 2 ageisms going on right now.
Those are the 2. You got to pick 1 that's going to make it all 8 games. Who's the guy you think makes all 8 games?
I will answer your question honestly. If I have to choose which one I think will stay healthy for 8 games, and I'm betting anything on it, I would pick Tyler Smith. Yes, that's fair. But I don't care about that because I only need him for 4. That's all I need him to do. Left tackle.
All you need is for
Tyron's back now.
Yeah. So sprinkle them in your rotations you're going to do for the next 4 weeks. Play him at right tackle, right guard, wide receiver, wherever you want. Kellen, do your thing. Put him at fullback. I don't care. But I just need it for the playoffs for 4 weeks.
Spoony.
Yes, sir.
Look, you've been very quiet. You got to bet. You got to bet on 4 regular season games. And let's just say the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl. That's 8 games in total.
No, they're going 8 weeks. 8 games.
Okay, 8 games. Who you betting on? Tyron or Tyler to be healthy the entire time?
See that, if you was to ask me that at least 2 games in after Tyron plays, to answer it fully.
I'm down. We're right here, right now.
Because and that's hard because, like I said,
I don't care about hard. Of course, it's hard. That's what we're doing.
I would rather go with Tyler than if I had a bet because we only see.
Because here's the difference, though. We're playing versus somebody being able to get us to 8 weeks. That's the difference.
No, but you know what it is? I see what O is saying though. Again,
your best bet to make it to 8 weeks is Tyron.
It's best bet. If you ask me,
we're in the Europe.
2 games later, I would say Tyron Smith. But right now, I would say Tyler because we haven't seen Tyron play yet.
Okay.
But that's just it.
Okay, look. We're in the year of our Lord, December 16th, 2022 at 11 p.m. Central. Real quick, space. When's the last time you watched Tyron Smith play a dominant game at left tackle?
Dominant? Dominant?
Like, he's the guy. Better than what Tyler's doing right now. How about that? But we'll set the bar low for O. Better than Tyler.
Shouldn't we start with, has Tyler had a dominant game this year?
Yes.
Okay. He has,
no,
yes.
He is not. No, he's not. That's a different conversation. Let's let Space answer the question.
You don't think Tyler's had a dominant game yet?
I think he's played really good games. I don't think he's been dominant. There's a difference.
Okay.
That's like when we throw those terms like generational. You threw dominant.
I didn't say generational. I never said he's generational.
No,
dominant,
that's what I'm saying. Dominant and generational, like those are phrases that are different than like has he been good this year.
Hold on, you think in 13 games he hasn't had a 1 dominant game?
No, I don't think he's had a dominant game.
All right, cool. All right, say less. All right, again.
He's had good games this year.
Okay, cool. Hey, you believe that? That's cool. Yeah. The last time that Tyron was dominant in the year of our Lord, December 16, 2022, 11:01 p.m. Central.
So we're lowering the bar to good. Is that correct?
No.
Dominant was the word.
We're dominant.
No. We said dominant.
Okay, cool. I want to just make sure I'm giving you a good answer. That's all.
From Tyron. Last dominant game from Tyron.
Jesus. I would say before he got hurt the first time last year.
Right.
You don't get no love from your burner account, though.
I get a lot of love from my burner account. Sam Rowe is my guy.
Oh, TC, y'all, look. Rich game.
That's the thing, I'm put in this position that I have to hate because I'm justifying putting the better player at the most important position. And that's where we are. But again, I will preface this. I understand where Nick's is coming from, and I understand where Space is coming from. I don't agree with it, but I understand.
Listen,
what's the day that Tyron Smith's been dominant? Just help me out. When was the last time he was on the field and dominant?
Last year.
Okay, I'm good with that. A year ago, I'm cool with that. When?
I don't know. Sometime last year.
Wait, let me ask you this. When did he get hurt the first time? Was it that Patriots game? I think it was.
No, I don't think it was the Patriots game. I feel like it was the Broncos game because I know he missed the Falcons game was the first game he missed. So it had to be the Broncos game, I guess. I'm
going to say the last time. No, because he missed. I think he had time out of that Vikings game too. So I'm going to say the Giants game last year. Like the first Giants game last year, which is like week 5.
Okay.
So he's about to walk in and be that guy again. Like, y'all really believe he's going to be that guy again? Because, see, for me, look, no cap. For me, I believed him going into the season last year because of the surgery. And it wasn't the same. It was never the same. Down the tape, it wasn't the same. And y'all think he's about to walk back in this right here, right now, and be better than Tyler, look, I'll tell you what. I would welcome them to say, Tyron, go start a left tackle against Jags and go put Tyler over here. We'll have a different conversation immediately.
Pause. Assuming Terrence was healthy, would the Cowboys team not put Tyron at left tackle over Tyler Smith right now?
They play money. That's fair. It'd be a rotation, though. Look, I do think it would be a rotation, though.
Because that's where they were gearing towards, right? Like, obviously, they were gearing towards it saying Tyron is our best left tackle. And that's the whole reason having this conversation is because of Terrence Steele's injury, obviously. Had he not been hurt, Tyron would be your left tackle because he's your best left tackle.
Fair.
So the team agrees with me there, at least on that part of it.
Cool, which is great. And the team was wrong because you can look at my Twitter feed and line. I didn't care about that. I didn't like it from the outset. Look, there's tweets. I got tweets. I tweeted about it. I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But look, what I do agree on is, yes, if Steele was healthy, it would be a rotation in left tackle. I absolutely unequivocally believe that they wouldn't put Tyler inside and Tyron outside for the full game. It will be a rotation still, and we'll see what happens.
So, assuming Terrence Steele was healthy, who do you think they would start in the playoffs? Would it have been Tyron Smith or Tyler Smith?
I'm sorry.
In the playoffs?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Assuming Terrence Steele had not gotten hurt, playoffs, first game, Tyler Smith or Tyron?
I mean, I don't know if Tyron would be healthy after 4 games, to be honest. But low key, even outside of that, even outside of that, you're asking me to project on something that we haven't seen for 4 games. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. If I'm being completely carte blanche, I don't know. Yes, ultimately, with the Cowboys, look, from the Cowboys standpoint, what they would want to do, ultimately, is Steele was healthy, and it would be Tyron and then Tyler. I completely agree there. Absolutely. Yes. That's what they wanted, for sure.
Question about this game. We'll end it on this, and we can move into the Jags. Mm-hmm. Is there a chance that Josh Ball plays more snaps than Jason Peters this week at right tackle?
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you think that's so? There's a chance. Do you think that's likely?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think that's something that a lot of people are not. We're all fixated on the Tyron Smith story, and a lot of us, based on what we saw in the last drive, think, well, Jason Peters is obviously your next best. I agree with you guys. I think they like Josh Ball. Maybe it's the draft stats or whatever more than Jason Peters right now at right tackle.
I think Ball might play more steps than Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a hot take either.
I think Ball's going to get a lot of looks. Look, I don't think any one of us on this panel or in the chat likes it.
Yeah, none of us are advocating for that one.
But I think there's a very high ceiling that 70. Let's go with 70 snaps. Let's just say 70. Ball 45. Peters 5-ish, and 20 for Smith.
And then Smith will play some left tackle too at some point in the rotation.
They should.
Or do you think he'll just play 20 total?
No. And I'll coach on that. He should.
He probably will. I don't know how much, maybe 7 or something like that.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, but he should though.
Is that what you think? Two space,
however,
like that?
However, I don't like.
That's fair.
To be clear, I'll let everybody answer and I'll mute myself. I don't like none of this shit. I don't like none of this fucking rotation shit. And back to how many have argued or whatever and debated, if you will. Look, as I said, what my lineup will be for the playoffs, I don't care. I don't want the rotation. Follow the money, play the money, Cowboys Nation. That's fine. Then, Tyron left tackle, Tyler left guard, and Peters over there, or whatever you are. Or if you want to make 2 moves, Tyron and then Tyler, it's fine. And rotate whoever. I'm okay there. But I don't want a whole shit ton of rotation. Figure it out and roll with it, and let's get there. And I'm good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. Good chat. That was fun. And like you said, this is the conversations, the type of conversation that the organization's having too. Like, how do we make this work best for our team? I personally think if the goal, and that's why Eddie's question I think hits pretty hard, is if the Cowboys do what I'm advocating, it is pushing the pause button. It is. Because you're going all in right now. And I think the organization, and maybe not necessarily towards the offensive line, but the organization right now seems to think this window's open. They're being more aggressive in talent acquisition. They're being more aggressive in going after trades. We didn't hit on it, but we tried. So I do think the team this year might look differently at the roster than what they would have last year or the year before, because we have been a long-term oriented team for a long time. And I think this year they are looking at what do we got to do to win this year. So I think it is worth having the conversation. So I appreciate you guys indulging me with that.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville Jaguars. They're a better team across the board than a 5-8 record looks. And they have a quarterback that's emerging. We talked about that on our show Wednesday. So we saw Justin Fields right in the beginning / maybe early into him emerging as a quarterback. We're seeing Trevor Lawrence a little bit deeper into his emergence. What are your thoughts on the game? I know that obviously you guys should check out Space Cowboy Media, follow him on Twitter, and definitely subscribe to his YouTube. But while he's here with us, how do you feel about the game and that matchup in particular with Trevor Lawrence and what he's doing in their offensive attack with Doug Peterson?
I think Doug Peterson was the best thing that the Jacksonville Jaguars could do for their long-term plans. Of course, Trevor Lawrence, sophomore year, dude, you're not expected to make that leap. It's really year 3 people look at. But he's making those leaps and bounds towards the end of year 2, which, not shocked, but it's not ideal for the Cowboys. But here's the thing. I do like that we're not playing some whatever squad. Like, you're playing a team that's playing good football right now, right? Sure, the record might not indicate it, but you'd be shocked. They're still in contention for that division. So it's kind of crazy to say that. With that being said, offensively, they've done a good job of schematically getting their guys open and using guys like Etienne, Christian Curry, those guys. Now, they aren't the most explosive bunch, I'll tell you that. And you can attack them there. I think Dallas has enough to stop them with the defense they have, but that's not part of the game that I'm worried about. I think that Trevor Lawrence, you can get to him. He's still a young quarterback that's still learning how to do things. And again, I think when you look at how they've played, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the times it's because that teams have fell over themselves. We saw this with the Titans in the last game. And that's not to disrespect what's going on there, but that's just the honest truth. So I think if Dallas really wants to do their part, what you need to do is you need to limit those big plays and stop them from getting these guys open. I know it sounds easier said than done, but that's just how it's been for Jacksonville, and that's how they've gone on this little win streak. I think defensively is where they flipped the switch a bit, and you've seen that. That's where I'm worried about this game, and even before that, and I'll say this and I'm done. This was the game on my radar going into the year. I said, there's going to be the what the hell loss that you should win this game. We nearly had that last week. This could be that week too. But I will give the Cowboys this. They prevail when those situations are about to occur. And that's something that good teams do. So we'll see how things go.
Okay. What's interesting too about the Jags is there's so many parallels from like just the overall team and offensive makeup to what they have now. And it's early roster guys versus us having, a veteran quarterback and CeeDee Lamb, who's had some years under his belt. Obviously, he's still a young guy, but adding T.Y. Hilton and things like that. And we haven't even, it's kind of crazy. We've been on for this long and haven't even talked about T.Y. Hilton yet. But the Cowboys and Jags have both had 15 giveaways this year. So they've done a good job, especially for a team with a young quarterback, of not turning the ball over and having those costly mistakes. The Cowboys have 23 takeaways and the Jags have 20. So that's pretty good for a young team to be able to be +5 in turnover margin. And then you look at explosive plays like we mentioned, like Space just mentioned.
Right.
They have 44 explosive passes. We have 39. We have 53 explosive runs. They have 40. So they're not a super explosive offense, but they are trending upwards. And what's really weird about them is if you look at them early to midway through the season, they ran the ball really well. They were averaging 142 rushing yards a game, but the last 4 games are averaging 67, I think, rushing yards is what it is. So there's a huge drop-off in the run game. We had this exact same conversation when we played Green Bay. We had the exact same conversation when we played Minnesota. What does Doug Peterson do? Because now you have an offense that's clicking passing-wise in a run game that's not doing well, and you're facing a defense that has had a history of not being able to stop the run. We've done a better job recently, but we still haven't been great at stopping the run. So how does Jacksonville attack us this week? Is this the week that they get a sudden resurgence in their rushing attack? Could be. Or maybe they continue to go pass heavy and that plays right in our favor, which is exactly what I said I thought Minnesota would do. I don't know that we'll see the same thing with Doug Peterson because Minnesota had O'Connell, a rookie head coach, playing into what was benefiting his team. Peterson's been a head coach, and he's faced the Cowboys. So I think he may attack us differently than what we saw from O'Connell. So they may be more balanced and run the ball more. But I thought that was kind of an interesting angle.
Well, it probably to bring up too, Trevor Lawrence has a toe injury. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how does that factor into what they're talking about and what they want to do? Because, a little iffy with the foot and what's going on. But, the other thing with the tape, Texas came out and did something crazy, right? The dual quarterback situation, what was going on there. So, yeah, there's some things there. And I'm with you, because passing game has been trending up. Facts, like walking through the door. For those that said, Sunshine's done, and we're seeing the resurgence, right? But now the injury, the MRI, things are happening. So, for us in Cowboys land, how healthy is he? Because a lot of things I heard was, he can get out of the pocket and run a little bit. Which, no, he's not Jalen Hurts or, Kyler Murray or anybody else, but he was very mobile. But now with the injury and what's going on with the toe and the MRI, how does that affect things? So, very interesting how they attack that a different layer there. How they decide to attack us. I'm with you there, 10 toes down.
Yeah, guys like Travis Etienne, I don't know if he's hurt or not, but he's definitely a big threat. At the same time, Evan Ingram's another one. He's double points the last 2 weeks as far as how they utilize him as a tight end. That's one weapon that we're gonna have to worry about, underneath routes and stuff like that. When it comes to Jacksonville, they have a very up and coming explosive team. At the same time, I feel the Cowboys with Dan Quinn has always adjusted. If the game is getting kind of crazy in the first half, I trust that they'll come out in the second half and adjust and try to limit what Jacksonville is throwing at the Cowboys. At the same time, when it comes to Trevor Lawrence, if he got a injury, he has to practice. He was limited all week. So if you're limited, it's pretty much that they keep an eye on him. I have a feeling that if they were mathematically out the playoffs, he wouldn't play this game. But I really do, because they have a shot 2 games behind. I really do think that they're gonna really be careful. It may be more balanced, like Professor O said. It may be more balanced in this game.
Right.
It will be more pass heavy to protect Trevor Lawrence at the same time.
Since we're talking about Trevor Lawrence, I'm just going to pull it up real quick just so you guys can see in the chat what we're talking about. Here's his game log for the season. So it wasn't bad early on, but there's a huge difference, obviously, in the last 5 weeks. He's had 4 of the 5 games over 70% completion. He's been over 100 quarterback rating in 4 of the 5. He has 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So he's hot right now. Doesn't mean that, obviously, we've been really good against the pass, but that's why we're talking about Trevor Lawrence specifically. So you guys I
think that's really going to be the biggest thing in this game is that, does Doug Peterson go to the run game here more so than not, regardless of who's back there running the ball? Because I think that, like Nick said, you do have a toe injury that could affect how the passing game goes, right? Yeah, exactly. And I agree with I Love Weed there. And look, now that we're hearing that Trevon Walker, the number 1 overall pick, that's been kind of slowly coming through.
Yeah.
He could not play, which would be huge for the Cowboys offense and stuff like that. And that would be a big blow for Jacksonville. But, look, the fact of the matter is that I think what benefits Dallas here, and we've seen this happen from them, they have that moment where, the Houston game, where it's like we nearly had the upset of the year, and we saw this happen a couple times in the Cowboys team's
drop you a link, Aisha. You can come on.
But my main thing is that we look at this situation. I would say that Dallas isn't going to be caught off guard like they were last go around, because I don't think that you look at Jacksonville, they don't have the ability to do what Houston did in the sense of doing the 2 quarterback thing that was really throwing Dallas off, right? So
right.
I would say that the main challenge for Dallas in this game is offensively. I think you put up enough points and you commit minimum mistakes. I mean, the Titans should have won that game. There are multiple games that Jacksonville has won where the opposing team should have won. Let's just call it a buck, right? But that's what worries me about Jacksonville, is that if they are like the Texans, they are like some of their other teams in their division, you keep them around, they will find a way to get one on you. So that's what scares me about the team, is like, don't play down because you have Philly next week. You win this game, you're in. That's what scares me about the team.
Oh, sorry.
Don't play down because you.
So, Space, what's interesting about that too is we've done this against the AFC South now 2 weeks in a row, where we played with our food against the Colts. We did the exact same thing against the Texans. The Colts obviously had a huge fourth quarter, which changed our mind of the game. But through 3 quarters of the game, we're like, what is happening right now? Like, why is this even a thing? And then the Texans, the next week, we did the exact same thing and needed a last-minute score to win that game, which was exciting. But obviously, at the end of the game, we all kind of walked away with like, that should have never been this close. If you do the same thing against Jacksonville that you did the last 2 weeks, you'll be in a different outcome at the end of the game, because Jacksonville is better than those 2 teams. They have a more formidable attack. So, Space, you're muted right now. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, my bad. And that's the thing that kind of irks me sometimes when we have these, not us, but the NFL is a season that goes through ebbs and flows. You will have teams that look like complete trash, and then they start coming along towards the tail end, right? Yeah. So, I mean, the Colts had that little bit of a little minuscule moment where they were playing tough. The Texans, with Lovie Smith, they've been playing tough given that talent level. Jacksonville, we see what they've been doing. And I think that what's going to be important for Dallas in this situation is, I would love a blowout, but McCarthy, and this is why I love McCarthy, he said it best, that it's those types of wins where you can just muster something out of nothing that's going to help you in the long run. Because as much as it pains me to go through those emotions, I think that what's funny is that it's very rare you see a playoff blowout, right? And I'm already getting my anxiety levels already risen with this team. But all I just want this team to do is go out on Sunday and take care of business. Don't overlook your opponent next week.
TC, Rich Gang, that's not what we said. Well, me and O.
That's what people think we said. That's not what we said.
That is not what he said.
No. What me and Professor O had a philosophical difference of how a playoff Cowboys team offensive line should have looked like. There's no hate either way. Like, we could be wrong, me or him, just what we think from our minds of how the line should look.
Yeah. So I just feel like this is one of those games, right? Like, this is not. It's not a statement game, but it is a must-win game for the Cowboys.
It's
in
a
a sense that if you want to win the division, you have to win this game.
Oh,
right.
Facts.
If you lose the game, it doesn't end your season. You're still going to be a playoff team, but this is a game that if the Cowboys want to win the division, you have to win this game, because then if you beat Philly, all bets are.
Brother, I'm old. TC, I'm old. Now I ain't got no grandkids like you, but I'm old. Come on now. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think what's key too, and I love what I was saying here, The reason I think this 4-game stretch is the most important, forget what the hell the Cowboys did to get to 10-3. Here's the thing. You might be a wild card team. Even if you win out, you got one more home game against your arch rival, right? You got 3 road games, okay? And I want to see how this team does in the 3 road games. And I don't care how you do it. If you win these games, I'll feel a little bit differently. Because remember what happened last year? We had that Arizona loss and we had that bad taste in our mouth. And we're like, I don't know, guys. Like I don't know.
Space, pause. Do you feel this team is that team last year against Arizona?
What, Jacksonville?
No. Arizona.
Like, what do you mean?
Because you said Arizona. Look, I know the game you're talking about against Arizona last year.
Mm-hmm.
As we're going into Jacksonville, do you think this team is the same at this point in time? They lines up.
No, I don't.
Okay.
And allow me to, if you don't mind, just real quick. My main thing is, it's the thing is that remember, that year, we were year 2 into the McCarthy administration, right? So you still have this culture that kind of has to get weeded out. And think about it, for another postseason appearance, right? And I think that the biggest thing is that with Dallas doing this in this point in time, that's huge for this organization, right? Especially for these players. And I think these players are a little bit more battle tested than last year, which is that's what's kind of made this team feel a bit better than last year. Sure, talent wise, you can argue that last year's team was better, but what has happened this year that hasn't happened last year? We're not like, we've had that one game where it's like, well, you were kind of in it, but like you didn't find a way to win it, right? So I really think that the biggest thing here is that if you can win these games, just prove to me that you can be competitive and find a way to win. That's what I'm going to need to say.
All right, Space. Eddie said, cut the crap, Space. The reason why this stretch is important is because here in week 15, is it week 15? I guess so. We got about a week. You got it. And we still don't have a true feel for their identity on offense. Hashtag WTF Kellen Moore. I'll let you respond there.
I mean, I personally disagree. I think we see what the Cowboys want to do. And I get like, oh, well, they change what they do here and then, right? But then again, that's the nature of things. Like, you're going to go up against teams where you got to run the ball more, you got to pass the ball more, right? But a lot of the times, what's been Kellen Moore's secret ingredient? The 12 personnel, using the tight ends and stuff like that. Yes, Jake Ferguson's hurt and stuff like that.
Which he's not doing.
Which is right.
Is he tailoring that?
Last year, I honestly felt like the Cowboys weren't trying in some of the...
Like that up.
I don't want to say it like this, but like I feel like sometimes the Cowboys don't really try in some of these games, if you know what I mean. Like we saw that happen last year, if you know what I mean. Like you saw that stretch against the Giants, the Saints. Who was the other team? I think it was those teams, right? And then they pour it on in these 2 games, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? But again, dude, I get it. It's annoying. We see this up and down shit every single game where it's like, okay, where's the motion here? What are we doing here? I get it. But at the end of the day, dude, like, I just don't really have much to say other than let me just see how this 4-game stretch pans out. I can't really say much because again, I could have a different answer for you in 4 weeks.
Space, can I ask you a question? Actually, I want to ask the whole panel too, real quick. Knowing that we probably will be facing at least 1, if not 3, road playoff games.
Sure.
Do you feel more confident with the Cowboys? And I know what history says, that being the home team is in your best interest. Do you think the Cowboys play better on the road versus home? Or do you feel more confident in them being able to win a big game on the road versus home?
I prefer them to be on the road, if I'm being real with you.
All right, Bruce. I got Bruce. Got the juices in the building. Go ahead, Bruce. O's got a question. What's going on, Bruce? How you doing this Friday? Oh, well, maybe Saturday if you're on the East Coast. How you doing, Bruce?
Nah, I mean, I'm down here in East Texas too, just like you.
Oh, where you at? Oh, no. Playboy, where you at, East Texas? Holla at me.
Nacogdoches.
Oh, shit. Bro, yeah, I'm in Longview. I go over here. Henderson, jump down 59. I'm right there. SFA. I got you.
Bet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the first time. It's the first time like I done got back to the crib and the show was still going. You know, like I was too busy on the grind, and like I was just hearing the back and forth about it, the O-line and whatnot.
Okay. Dip your toe in there, Bruce.
I mean, y'all can't. My camera ain't on right now, but I'm gonna put my hood up, and then I'm gonna steal a line from Spooty when I say, "Understand this." I don't care what they do as far as the regular season go. Play around now, but figure that shit out once the playoffs hit. My personal preference, I would rather have 3 Hall of Famers on there, the rookie, and throw Biotish out there.
Let's go. In what order though?
Oh yeah.
That was all of us had the same people.
What's the order?
What order though?
What's the order? Left tackle to right tackle. What's the order though, Bruce?
Ty Smith Jr. been soaking up from Peter, so I would rather have Ty Smith Sr. to the left tackle there.
Let him know. Thanks,
all right,
Bruce.
you know, Bruce.
Appreciate you joining, Bruce. Thank you, sir.
Hey man, I never liked Nacogdoches anyway. Jaguars were the hungry. I don't like y'all no more. You know what? SFA wasn't Axum Jackson ain't really that good. Damn it. All right,
I mean, my hometown is my hometown college is TCU though.
Bruce is a smart man. That's why.
So you're going with Tyron, the elder at left tackle. Who's your left guard then?
Ty Smith Sr., Ty Smith Jr., Biotish. I mean, Zach Martin ain't going nowhere. That man is furniture.
Shit, he already told. Look, and Martin told y'all, I'm a guard, and when I say guard, I mean right guard. That's fine. And who's your right tackle then?
I mean, I would go with Peters because I mean, like I know a lot of people are worried about his conditioning or whatnot, but correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he play a whole season last year with no incident?
You're not wrong there. And this
played 15 games. He was inactive 2 weeks in a row.
Right, and that's a conundrum for us here. Is the Cowboys? Dropped the stat earlier. Less than 30 snaps all year. I don't know. You know, the Cowboys don't want to play more than 30 snaps. That's a problem. But I'm with you for 4 games. And
I mean, yeah, like we have the tail end of the season.
Hey, but low key though, if we're just counting, right? Early 14, 21, okay, 4, 9, and then 13, 20, okay, 19, and then 27. Maybe they're ramping him up, and we'll see.
I mean, he did come in overweight, so it is quite possible that they are ramping him for something bigger. I'm gonna trust the process until I see ball out there, and then I start yanking my curls out.
Simple. Oh well, real quick, let me ask you a question. We're playing Jacksonville Sunday.
Yeah.
All right. Where you at? What you doing? How you moving?
I feel like it's gonna be close-ish, and when I say close-ish, I'm talking like 1 score, maybe 10 points or something like that, like margin.
All right, 7-4. You're going to be in NAC, or you're going to be moving around? Where you going to be at?
I'm gonna be in NAC, man.
Okay, well, hey, look, man. If you want to drive up this way, I'll be above 33 over here in Longview, and we'll kick it. I'll be there all day. Just let me know. 7-4. All right, brother. Bruce, appreciate you as always. Is what it is.
All right, man. I was just stopping through. Like I said, this was the first time I get after hours.
Hey, shout out to I mean, I was working, things were happening. I didn't think we were going to do it. I was just like, no, this is go at 9:30. I'm like, I don't know. I'm working, whatever. He's like, it'll be fine. And absolutely, the crowd's been fine. So we had to go a little bit late, and it's worked out tonight. So appreciate you coming through, and you got to catch it. Say less.
Appreciate y'all, man. The debate was fantastic, by the way.
Oh yeah, because I'm right, No's wrong. It's okay.
I love that our last guest on the night joins just to say, Professor O is 100% right an hour ago.
I don't think he said that. I don't really think he said that. He didn't say he was right. He gave his line though. I don't think he said you were right though. I didn't. The correlation didn't work. But with that being said, man, we are up against the 2-hour spread here, and we started late. So let's hit the background music down real quick. Oh, can we hit the background music down real quick?
Yep.
Let's hit it down real quick. First and foremost, I want to be very clear here. And we'll get a little more emotional next week as we get closer to the holidays. However, it's been a fun ride this entire season, and for those that followed us, Spoon, you already know, last year we got to a point of the season. It's okay for context and to be critical. It's fine, but the Cowboys are 10-3, and we can argue and we can talk about whatever. Enjoy the ride. It's almost over. Enjoy the ride. It's almost over. Cowboys are going to the playoffs. We don't know how long that lasts. So we have minimum 5 games. The Cowboys have minimum 5 games left is where we are. And then bonus time. Fun. We enjoy everybody and whatnot. Space, building this brand. We got the one chip challenge for those that don't know. It's right there. And we're pounding the table because I get to host that and ask him whatever questions y'all want to ask. I get to fire questions from y'all and myself as he eats that damn chip.
Oh, and
Make
Nick,
sure you follow and go over there.
Remember, if we make the NFC Championship game.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah. Damn it! You remember? Damn it! So if we make the championship game, me and Space will both be in the.
We make the NFC.
Yeah.
Get ready.
We'll let O and Spoony host us as we do it. And DMV's not here tonight. He said he was going to do it too, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So me, DMV.
He has that thing recorded. You could go back and take
He's done it before, though. See, at this point, is not a challenge for him. I think he likes it. He enjoys the pain. To do it a second. Once you've done it, like it's like if you've been.
I mean, that's part of being a Cowboys fan.
Like, why would I
listen, man. It's a part of being a Cowboys fan. So I guess we're all used to it at this point.
I hope you guys have a bottle of my Lancer on the side.
Look, I'll be honest. I've never had one. Space, have you ever had one?
I have had a Carolina Reaper before. I think twice.
Well, that's not what we're doing though.
Well, it's that type of heat level. Right? It's that type of heat though.
Okay, I don't know, but I've never done a Carolina Reaper or that. But if the championship game happens, I'll be in the building. But it is what it is.
Hey, but go on.
Fair. Spin the block. We got 3 things, and we're getting up out of here. Spin the block. I'm gonna go counterclockwise. Cowboys Jags score for Space is what?
I'm gonna say 26 to 21. It's going to be a lot closer than people think.
Okay. Cowboys winning?
Yes.
All right. Spoony, what's the score?
Well, on Wednesday, I picked 28-14. I'm changing that score now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm changing it. I'm going 35-17 Cowboys.
Oh, you're close to me. All right. What you got? Score?
So the Jags have scored 22.6 points a game and have allowed 22.6 points a game. So it feels like 23 should be their score based on what they've done throughout the course of the season. So I'm gonna go with the averages. I originally had 34-17. I'm upping that to 34-23. On Wednesday I said 34-17. So I'm gonna go with 34-23. That's my score.
Pretty sure I said that on.
May I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Ever since me and Professor go on the same type of score where the winning, we've been doing our thing. Last time we said this, the Cowboys scored 54 points against the Indianapolis Colts. Last time this happened.
Yeah. I think we dobbed the Wednesday show. I think I said 34-17.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we agreed on Wednesday, but either way, I'm 24-23. 34-23 right now.
Oh, no. Oh, it's okay. This team's going to be pissed off. I'm going to change my score to it's okay. It's going to be 34-13 Cowboys. I think ultimately we saw the pissed off Minnesota Cowboys. I kind of think we're going to see a pissed off Cowboys team again. Now, I don't like the rotation line wise or whatever, But I'm gonna go 34. I'm gonna go 34-13 Cowboys. Is where I'm at. All right, spin the block again. I'm gonna go counterclockwise. All right, bold prediction for this game. We do this every Friday. Space, what's your bold prediction for this game?
Bold prediction. I'm gonna say Dak Prescott throws 4 touchdown passes.
Oh, okay.
I like that
Spoony?
one. I like it.
Spoony?
T.Y. Hilton scores first touchdown as a Cowboy.
Not 2, just 1.
Well,
I feel like one's bold. He just signed this week. That's why.
I'm just pressing. I'm just pressing. Just want to see where. Look, I was just
no. Here's the
I
thing.
want to see where Spoon want to go.
No, I'm
Can I
gonna
take
ask
Spoon
that.
there?
No, I'm asking because Space said 4. You said 4, right, Space?
Yeah.
You said 4. Okay, so here's the thing. T.Y. Hilton gets 1. CeeDee Lamb gets 2.
Ooh.
And Gallup gets 1.
Okay. Oh, you're bold.
Bold prediction. I'm gonna go with something that hasn't happened this year.
Okay. Oh.
And I don't know why I'm doing it, but I just feel like
it. No, I like it. Oh, I
just feel like Turpin's gonna redeem himself.
Finally,
he had the muff punt. He's housing it. I don't know. Kick
Let's
return or
go.
punt return. He's housing it. I'm going with it. That's my bold prediction.
All right. Here's my bold prediction. Been a tough week for Micah in certain instances. A little bit. When's the last time that Micah had 3 sacks in a game? Has he ever?
I don't think he's ever done that.
He does Sunday. Micah Parsons, not 1, not 2, 3 sacks Sunday. Micah Parsons shows back up. Everything's been happening. The podcast, blah, 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 whatever. 3 sacks. Micah Parsons, 3 sacks Sunday. My bold prediction. Spin the block really quick on this. And I know I'm going to hear this on the space because I didn't talk about it enough. And Spoony, we teased it enough and we didn't do it. OBJ. We'll say the name now. OBJ. Space. Tomorrow, Monday. Yeah. Is it done? Done deal?
He will be, based off of what's been said, I think he'll be a Cowboy this week.
Boom. Spoony? Look at that cheese. He's cheese.
Here.
He's here? Okay.
He's here. I say that they have a league meeting on next Tuesday, right? League meeting, something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be a Cowboy by Monday.
Oh? 95%. Oh,
I'm still.
Ago.
I'm higher than 95% now. It's happening.
Whoa.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll be Monday or Wednesday after the meeting.
Whatever.
But yeah, sometime early next week.
Down.
Yeah, Odell will be a Cowboy. 95 is now to 99.9%.
Yeah, no. I'm already. It's going to happen. I'm with you. Yeah. With that being said, we'll get out of here on this special second segment Wednesday. If you missed it, go dial it up. My guy Spoony was out here in a man. If y'all missed the end of Wednesday's show, go over there, hit it, sub, watch my guy do work. Hold on. And let me make sure I do the right thing. I told y'all, Spoony sermon's coming. Spoony.
Yes, sir.
Can we get the sermon music? Can we get there? Get the sermon music real quick, please and thank you. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Spoony sermon moment.
You know, week 1, when Dak Prescott went down, myself, others, we thought it was all over. It's done. Cowboy season is done. We're finished. But then what happened was, Team 4, next man of coach, Cooper Rush, led by Cooper Rush, the backup quarterback. They said we're not done. We're not done. Next man up. We're going to continue to fight. Still, a lot of us did not believe. Then an identity came out. Zeke, Tony Pollard. Wow, look at this offense. Look what this team is doing. Still, some did not believe. You know, and as people not believing, we're seeing the Philadelphia Eagles cruise. They're trying to separate. Then when that came back, top offense, defense is rolling. Some people still not believe. The trap game happened in Green Bay. A game that we should have won. A game that folks thought that it hurt. And why we not in first place in the division, or at least one game behind. You see? We're knocking on the door right now.
Oh.
And see, a lot of folks feel that the Eagles are going to win the division.
They
looking
are.
at the schedule, looking at the Bears, the Saints,
they're gonna win it.
They're saying the Dallas Cowboys cannot catch up to them.
No
you see,
way.
here's the thing, y'all. The one thing we didn't learn, we have not been learning the whole time with the Dallas Cowboys. The more you doubt them, the more they wake you up. I'm woke. I don't know about a lot of y'all, but I'm woke up.
Oh.
And see, here's the thing, y'all. I told you a couple of weeks ago that Jerry Jones that we all wanted to see was the Jerry Jones from the 90s. The aggressive Jerry Jones. The one who, if there's a play out there he wants, like Deion Sanders, I'm going to get that play on this team. Why? Because we want to win. As you see in my hat right now, up close, this hat right here, this is the 2021 NFC East Championship hat. And I wore it today to remind everybody, regardless, we're still the champ. That shit is our house still. And as players on this team is coming together, rising together, the football gods shine a bright star. And they said, keep believing. Keep believing, Spoon, because what's about to happen is, when we knock on that door, Philadelphia is due for a game. They're due to drop a game. They are due. They're scared right now because, well, they try to pull away. They just couldn't pull away. We are knocking on that fucking door. And come Christmas Eve, we're going to do two things. We're going to do two things. I understand we got Jacksonville. I'm not overlooking Jacksonville right now. We're going to get past Jacksonville. But the two things we're going to do is we're going to win that game. Not only for the Dallas Cowboys, but we're going to win for Santa. Santa still has not forgotten what you guys did to him. You see, here's the thing. Santa right now will not visit Philadelphia. You don't understand why? Because guess what? He come down that chimney. He doesn't want shit and milk. He wants milk and cookies. And this is what you're going to get in Philadelphia. See, right now, it's our time. Y'all understand this. The talks of OBJ, T.Y. Hilton's in the building. We are destined to host. We are destined to host this thing. It's due for one. If we haven't learned anything about the Dallas Cowboys, look what they've done when they lost to Green Bay. You went to a playoff team and spanked them 40-3. Understand this. Hashtag understand this. Our time is coming. But I understand we got to be patient. As BJ Nix would say, let's get past the first step. We're going to jump that shit. Come next week, Philadelphia, whether it's myself, my boy Space right here, Professor O, or the Messiah himself, or Miss Mary, or we're going to party next fucking week. Philadelphia, understand this. Yo, dude. TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, look, and what we've kind of talked about in general is simply, Jags for us, Bears for them. We win, they drop. Boy, Christmas Eve for all of us hits different. By the way, I hate Christmas. I don't know about y'all. I hate it. 3:25 Christmas Eve Central Time. I hate it. I don't like it. But
y'all love BJ. Y'all love it. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we all cry. They haven't cried once. Everybody's due for a tear.
you see.
Listen, it's gonna happen. Hey, do you guys know the weather in Chicago right now is for tomorrow for this game?
It's not good, isn't it?
Yeah, 20 degrees and possibly rain and snow.
No.
The elements will be high.
All right. Well, with that being said,
telling you, DJ,
I'm okay. I'm okay. Well,
what happened? You know what? I'm feeling good.
I'm with
right
Nick,
now.
I'm not trying to watch a game. I'm going to watch it, but I'm not trying to watch a game at 4:25 Eastern time on Christmas Eve because I have little kids and I'm trying to make Christmas Eve a family thing.
For me,
1 o'clock game would be perfect for me, or 12.
Or after. For me, like, it's Christmas Eve. I own a retail store, video games, pop culture, the whole nine. And no, as I own it, who cares? I'm the owner. I'll whatever next to this leave. But I don't run it that way. 12 years plus. Shots to the community. But at like 2 o'clock, I'm like, hey guys, I know y'all here till 6. But we're playing the Eagles. So it's been great. I'm gone. And I don't like it. Now. For me, being a little bit older, that's what it is. For absolutely.
3 little
kids. Yeah, I mean, man, and that's what it should be about. Hold on, let me get the ho ho ho. It's really about that, and it's really hard. It's not like Turkey Day, different. Christmas Eve,
Christmas Day would be good because they'll be playing with toys. They won't care about me at all. I can just watch football.
Hey, 3:25, aka your time, 4:25. Say less. Me and you were like, we're in the chat. We're like, hey, let's go, let's turn up. But God bless Christmas Eve, man. Oh,
that makes the stakes so much higher because goddamn, you know how much that game's gonna feel like jubilation or sting, however it goes. But listen, man, I think you're gonna see that game be the most watched game of all time.
Yeah.
You're talking viewership. Oh, you're doing that.
It's going to be
said that earlier, right? They said that earlier with
they did, on Thanksgiving.
Right.
This or something. So
this will might see like 60, 70 million dollars, 70 million people probably might tune in, and this might not be broken. Like I know the Cowboys break records on an annual basis, but this thing might not be broken for a good long time. And what's crazier, actually, let me rack that up. If these two teams meet in the playoffs, could you imagine the viewership, especially if it's, I don't know, an NFC Championship game?
You know what, Space? I think what you're trying to tell me is there's some, I don't know, zebra effect. You're kind of getting me to maybe the NFL wants to make things happen. Is that what? Am I reading the vibes wrong there or no?
I mean, listen, man. I've seen crazier shit happen. I've seen crazier shit happen, and I would not be shocked if Christmas fucking Eve it's gonna be for the NFC. I understand that yes, certain things still have to happen, but don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. Not just if that game, even if Dallas loses that game, I would not be shocked if we see a rematch to a right to go to the Super Bowl. I definitely can see that happen.
We talked about this. I think it was 2 weeks ago on our show.
Yeah.
The NFL missed a massive opportunity by not flexing this game to one of the.
Fox was not giving up that game. Fox was definitely not giving up that game.
I understand why it wasn't flexed, but this is the slate that they have. So you have Thursday Night Football. Jags versus Jets. Then you have Christmas Eve football. Raiders versus Steelers. And then you have Christmas Day football, Bucks versus Cardinals. None of those three games are compelling at all.
Yes.
I understand we give up that game. I'm just saying the NFL should have flexed something because none of those games are good games.
I'm telling you. But yeah, man, look. All that matters is, and I'll be real, even if Dallas does whatever on Christmas Eve, I want to see more. I want to see more. You know? Yes, I understand. You went against your arch rival, and that can propel you to do certain things. But you know what? I've seen us do crazy things before where we beat the Eagles to go to the playoffs, but I want to see a bit more. I think a little bit more is in store soon. So,
I mean, we beat the Eagles, we hosted them, and then beat them again. Don't forget. But neither here nor there. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate everybody. A lot of so much offensive line wise to talk about.
We didn't even talk about T.Y. Hilton.
He's a Cowboy. Congratulations. There we go.
Boom.
Yeah,
I mean, we talk about OBJ. Yeah, look, I'm free tomorrow night. What do you want to do?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
that
out
part.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Look, turn my head around. I want to play Call of Duty. I don't want to do it tomorrow. But, you know, we'll be on Twitter. We'll be on Twitter. Space, what are you doing tomorrow?
I work.
I work tomorrow.
Christmas party annual.
Nah. Oh, never mind. Oh. Y'all be safe. 14-3. We'll end on this. 14-3.
As a 5 seed.
No.
I'm just saying, like, how crazy would that be if
That's
that
not
happened?
a question. Hold on. 14-3. Is it a 5 seed or a bye? Oh.
I mean, it could go either way. Like
Right. You got to pick. You got to pick, though. 14-3. Bye or 5th seed?
I so want it to be a bye, but I think it's a 5 seed because I don't know that the Eagles will drop another game. I hope they do, but I don't know that they'll drop 2. I think they'll drop 1 to us. Think about 14-3, 5 seed, playing Tampa with 7 wins. Like, what are we doing?
Oh, what are we doing? All right, Swinny, I just Swinny minute.
No, listen,
But
we want to get the bye.
14-3. Is it a bye or 5th seed?
A bye.
Okay, all right.
Love it.
My man said bye. Look, I love how sweet she said. Bye. Space 14-3. Is it a Cowboys bye or 5th seed?
If they're 14-3, they're getting the bye week.
I hope so.
I have my reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Space.
Was that a wink? What was that?
Yes, that was a wink.
It's okay. Oh, I'm with you. I think 14-3, they'll beat the Eagles. 5th seed. It feels that way. I want to be wrong. But yeah, man. Look, Eagles losing to what? Giants, Bears. Who else?
Maybe Washington because they.
I think they play the Saints
Washington
too.
gonna sweep them. It's kind of hard to see that.
No, Washington is the Saints. They got the Bears, Saints, Giants.
Oh yeah, they played Washington once already.
Yeah, Bears, Saints, Giants, and forget the other team.
You're not wrong,
Us,
TC.
yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
last question. Are you happier to be on the road the entire time or not?
Yeah, that was a question I asked earlier. Yeah, if we're 14-3 as a 5 seed, I feel great going in the playoffs. I just do.
Boom. Spoony?
Wait, say it again.
14-3 on the road. You feel great?
In the playoffs.
Oh yeah. I feel great. The Buccaneers.
I feel better about it, honestly.
Yeah, I really do feel good.
Home field. Look, me and Spoon's in the building versus the Niners. That shit was ass. Space.
I'd rather go on the road. Listen, get the playoff anxiety out of you against the team in Tampa. It happens for all these teams. I'm telling you. If you can get it out in that first game, you'll be fine.
That part. But that being said, be safe. Enjoy your Christmas shopping this weekend because I know all of y'all have been late like me. You got to do it this weekend. Next week, don't do it. Right now, Saturday, it's upon us. Go out here like I'm going to do. Tomorrow, literally, I have worked a shit ton of hours, whatever. Tomorrow, I am up at 9 by 5. 9 to 5. All my Christmas shopping is done. One fell swoop, and I'm good. Do the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you clear that out. Oh, Space, Christmas shopping done?
Oh, it's all done. Amazon's the greatest thing ever made.
Well, Spoony?
Benito.
Oh?
I'm done. Waiting on some stuff to come in, but shopping is done. Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? Screw you guys. I'll start tomorrow. Y'all be
Space
safe.
7, man. Amazon Prime. Hit up Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Just go to Amazon Prime, man. They'll get it to your front door.
But if you need video games, go to Games to Go or hit up Nick's.
Listen,
and you can buy
you're gonna need to watch the game when we play Tennessee.
Like, my daughter's good. My brother's good. Like, there's a extremity. My wife, though, she's always like, "Hey, I don't want my Christmas from your store this year." I'm like, shit. So I got to figure it out tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
We'll make it
Y'all be
happen.
safe. Peace.
Peace out, guys.